This presentation is copyright Neversink Media Group and may not be recorded or otherwise distributed without the express written consent of the owner of the broadcast.
The following is a special presentation of Wall Radio Sports in cooperation with the Middletown High School Athletic Department. Wall Radio is proud to present Middies Football. Now, the countdown to kickoff. Let's go to the field with DJ McPherson.
Hudson Valley. It's a cold November night, which can only mean one thing. It's time for Middies playoff football. Alongside my esteemed former colleague Norris Gibson, I'm DJ McPherson. Jeff Anderson joins us in our Wall studio, and we thank you for tuning in for another night of Middletown football, where your Middie Bears will once again take on the Pine Bush Bushmen here at Fowler Field for the Section 9 semifinal championship game here on Wall Radio, brought to you by the Orange County Stop DWI and Traffic Safety Program. We're 23 minutes to kick off here for this great playoff game here at home Fowler Field. Tonight's weather is going to be a cold, just above 50 degrees, perfect weather for playoff football. And moving into this action last year when Norris and I ended the season, it was a brisk Saturday afternoon in Newburgh, New York, where we saw the Middies finish a tough loss to the Newburgh Goldbacks. That team started the season 0-3 after fighting back and finishing in contention for the Section 9 title. This year, from the ashes of that loss, a renewed spirit was born, and your Middies took off out the gate to a 3-0 start and finishing the season 7-1. Since day one, this team has played like an established powerhouse of our division, opening the season with a 55-point performance over Goshen, and since then they never looked back. This offense, led by 8th grader JoJo Royale, averaged over 30 points per game this season, and more importantly, saw a huge boost in confidence and production from the young quarterback. On the other side of the ball, there isn't much more to the story than what meets the eye. A dominating defense led by Stephen Monchery and backfield playmakers Caden Blackman and G.O.B. have stifled every offense in their path. Coach Strenfield, who we're going to hear from in just a few, has preached the mantra of 1-0 after each and every win in order to cement the mindset of taking it week by week and never overlooking your opponent. That opponent, tonight, the Hungry Bushmen, who come back here to Fowler Field with a taste of revenge and a chance to play spoiler to the Middies. So the stage is set, the stands are getting packed already, and it's time to get the playoffs rolling. We're going to take a quick break, but before we do, we would always like to say thank you to all of our great and valued sponsors that make this possible. Thank you again to Mid-City Transit, Shortstop Deli, 86 Auto World, Rhinebeck Bank, Steve Dodd Plumbing and Heating, and the Orange County Stop DWI and Traffic Safety Program. Again, when we come back, we're going to hear from Middies head coach Tim Strenfield, and then we're going to welcome back Norris Gibson. He's going to have our keys to the game, and we'll just catch up on life in general. You're listening to Middletown Football on Wall Radio, brought to you by the Orange County Stop DWI and Traffic Safety Program.
Since November 1st, 2020, all motor vehicle passengers aged 16 and older must be restrained by a seatbelt. Seatbelt safety starts with you. Encourage others to wear their seatbelt every trip, every time. Increasing seatbelt and child safety seat use is the most effective way to reduce crash-related injuries and fatalities. A message brought to you by Orange County Traffic Safety Program and New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Paid for by ADAC through Stop DWI.
Great service, great staff, great reputation. That's Steve Dodd Plumbing and Heating, working hard to maintain that reputation they've built over the years. The Steve Dodd team is your go-to for exceptional service and maintenance of heating systems, water heaters, and water pumps. Their experienced, licensed, and insured professionals are here for you for simple repairs to full renovations. Call 845-386-2217 and have your heating system checked for the season. Steve Dodd Plumbing and Heating. Call today.
Mid-City Transit is a proud supporter of the Middletown High School football team, and right now they're looking for drivers to join their team. To apply today, visit midcitytransit.com. Since 1935, Mid-City Transit has been transporting the children of the Middletown School District, always committed to providing those children with a safe and reliable bus service. Mid-City Transit is also available for charters, wedding shuttles, family reunions, and trips. Everyone at Mid-City Transit wishes the Middletown High School football team good luck this season. Go Middies!
Time to get back to the action. It's Middies football on Wall Radio.
Welcome back to our countdown to kickoff. It is playoff time here. Midi Bears taking on the Bushmen back at home at Fowler Field for the home playoff game. We're sitting down tonight with head coach Tim Strenfill ahead of tonight's action. Coach, first of all, congratulations on a wonderful season and the number 1 seeding.
Thank you very much. Yeah, this is pretty cool. This is the first time in Fowler Field history that we're having hosting a playoff game, so pretty neat.
It is really neat. Speaking of just historical things, the first time we're hosting a home playoff game here at Fowler Field. We have a chance to, for the first time since the mid-90s, I believe, be the Section 9 champions for the fall season. It was a couple of years ago during COVID. We were the Section 9 champions, but, you know, it was during the spring season that we had. But still, you were the champions, and we're back here, a great season, and we have a chance to play for a championship again. But first up, it's the Bushmen. Coach, first of all, looking back, you had a great season, finished it strong, 7-1, just a 1 loss to Monroe Woodbury. You know, what do you think was the best part of the season for you and your coaching staff?
I think it was bouncing back after the Monroe loss. I think it was sort of coming back and going into Newburgh and really going there without 2 of our better players on the sideline most of the game, and without our kickers because they had a soccer game, and going in there and knowing that the kids believed in themselves enough that they were able to overcome those sort of factors and come out of Newburgh with a win. It's a very, very difficult thing to do, and to know that they have a little bit more confidence after that, I think that was the big turning point.
It was a huge turning point because then you finished the season undefeated for the remaining games. Now with a number 1 seeding, you know, Coach, let's look at who drives this offense for you guys, this high-powered offense, averaging about 30 points a game here to finish the season. You know, talk about Jojo Royale. Earlier on in the season, game 1, you said you have the potential to have a 5-year starter. Looking back at how much he's developed this year, what do you think was the biggest part or the biggest step that he took this season?
The biggest step was sort of just calming himself and knowing that everybody around him believes in him, everybody got his back, and that he knows that as long as he is making the right calls and making the right decisions, things can turn out pretty well. Knowing in our back pocket that when we need to throw, he's absolutely capable of doing that. I think that's been his biggest step forward. Really, I mean, 13 years old, just learning the offense and sort of starting to really understand defenses and how they work. That's come a long way for him.
You know, Coach, speaking of defense there, on the other side of the ball, that defensive front, of course, led by, you know, senior captain Stephen Monchery. Talk about how important it is to have a defense that can help with your field position and with time of possession, and just how dominant they've been, especially the second half of the season.
Yeah, I mean, getting a push up front with those guys has been a blessing for our D-backs and our linebackers. I mean, they are pretty much getting double teamed as much as the other offensive line can do that. That opens up big opportunities for our inside linebackers, our outside linebackers. And those guys sometimes even get double teamed, still make it through and put pressure on the quarterback or make tackles in the backfield. Definitely very, very blessed with those guys up front. Game changers, that's for sure.
No, absolute game changers. And speaking of, so many weapons, too, on offense. You know, we talked about the quarterback. He's able to bounce this ball around to so many different playmakers. Coach, coming into this game, you know, you dominated against Pine Bush just a few weeks ago at home. And like you said earlier, you know, we talked about before the interview, you don't want to take anybody lightly. Is part of the game plan that you used a few weeks ago and that dominating performance somewhat of what we're going to see tonight?
Yeah, I mean, obviously things don't really change that much in 2 weeks. So some of the things that you use will still work. But at the same time, you learn a lot of lessons from playing them, and they learn a lot of lessons from playing us. So you sort of got to play that chess game until you both feel each other out and figure each other out during the game. And really, you got plays going in that, oh, well, they did this in the first game, and if they do this again, then we could be able to take advantage of that. But if they do something different, well, then here's our sort of counter punch to that. So I think you got to go into it as if you're playing a whole new team, but at the same time knowing some of the things that they might be doing.
Coach, let me get you out of here on this. It's November now. We've talked about it a couple of years ago. We had the pleasure of wearing the black coats in November, away game at Monroe Woodbury. How does it feel to strap those on again? Cold November weather. I mean, playing November football.
I mean, listen, whenever you can play November football and it's meaningful November football, I mean, that's what you think about when January rolls around. Like, hey, how's this team going to be? What are you going to look like this year? And being in the playoffs is obviously a big goal for a lot of teams, but not everybody gets it. So now we're here. We've done well at this point, but now you sort of got to go back into the mindset of, all right, well, listen, now when you lose, now it's over. So really thinking that way and knowing to yourself, well, hey, listen, it's time to win every game. So not thinking that you're going to lose, but thinking going into every game, saying that you got to go 1-0, and now at the end of the day, you don't get to come back on Monday if you don't. So kids understand it, coaches understand it. A lot more prep has gone into the playoff games because now it's the real deal. So looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it as well. And Coach, you said it. Going 1-0 has always been the mantra for you guys all season long. So it's going to be business as usual, and we can't wait to see it. We're going to pack the house at Fowler Field. Coach, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, DJ.
Thank you. And that was Mittie Bears head coach Tim Strenfield ahead of tonight's action. Mittie Bears against Pine Bush for the Section 9 semis here at Fowler Field.
And we just heard from the head coach himself, Tim Strenfield, ahead of tonight's action, which we are 12 minutes, 15 seconds away from getting started here. People are still coming into Fowler Field. It's a little chilly. Bring your blanket tonight, but we're going to have a great time and a great game, hopefully a playoff win here for the Middies. 12 minutes to go. We're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about how the rest of this season went, and then we're going to bring in Norris Gibson with his keys to the game. We're going to talk all about how special tonight is and what it means for this team and this community. You're listening to Middletown Football on Wall Radio, brought to you by the Orange County Stop DWI and Traffic Safety Program.
So, Benjamin, what seems to be the problem?
I need you to unhinge my jaw.
I'm sorry, uncinch your bra?
No, I need you to unhinge my jaw.
He had one of those deliciously huge deli sandwiches from Shortstop Deli on East Main Street in Middletown.
Oh, unhinge your jaw. Got it, okay. Those are tasty.
Got a huge hunger? You need Shortstop Deli, open every day, 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. Everything is served fast and fresh by Russ and the gang. Shortstop Deli, Shutt Road and East Main in Middletown.
Hello there, Joe Daly here, inviting you to start your weekend mornings with me. We'll have all the latest news, Mike Spiel's forecast from the Weather Tower, Charlie North with Charlie's Chuckles, the Trivia Challenge, weekend happenings, and of course, the Hudson Valley's greatest hits. Join me every Saturday and Sunday morning from 8 until 12 noon, right here on the weekend morning show that sleeps in on the Hudson Valley's hometown station.
Well, the car's shot. And what they want to charge for a new transmission, we might as well get a new car.
We'll have to 86 it.
I figure we can get something if we trade it in.
No, take it to 86 Auto World. They actually work on transmissions.
86 Auto World is your one-stop auto shop. From oil changes and repairs to tires and body work, they've got you covered. 86 Auto World, 86 East Main Street, Middletown, and at 86autoworld.com.
Driving while impaired has serious consequences. In 2021, 10,147 alcohol and drug-related crashes occurred, while more than 9 people per day were arrested for impaired driving in New York State. If you feel different, you drive different. Before you go out, always have a plan to get home safe. A message brought to you by Orange County Stop DWI and Traffic Safety Program and New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Paid for by ANAC through Stop DWI.
This is Middletown High School football on Wall Radio.
Back to Middletown football here on Wall Radio. Under 10 minutes to go before we get playoff football started here at Fowler Field. DJ McPherson alongside a Norris Gibson. Ladies and gentlemen, it is about to go down here tonight. Jeff Anderson joining us in our Wall studio. Before we get started, don't forget, guys, all week long, you can listen to Hudson Valley's hometown station, Wall Radio. We are on 94.1, 105.7, 106.3, and on the Wall Radio app. Or if you're just online already, check us out, wallradio.com. Monday through Friday, you can catch Kate Brannon in the morning. And back here to the game, tonight's action, Middletown Middies. The Middy Bears are going to take off the Bushmen of Pine Bush. It is Section 9, a semi-final action here. Middies have earned the #1 seed going into this game this year by being 7-1, starting off 3-0. They had the unfortunate loss to Monroe Woodbury and then rifled off 4 straight dominating wins to finish the season as we bring in our one-time esteemed colleague back here today for the playoff action, Norris Gibson. And Norris, as I said, they're 7-1. They've had a tremendous season, only 1 loss. Undefeated at home. That loss was on the road to Monroe Woodbury in a game some say they shouldn't have lost, but they did, unfortunately. They set the record straight, finished the season 4-0, dominating over 30 points per game to finish the year, averaging 30 points a game. At the end of the regular season, and just a couple of weeks ago, they finished off, they beat Pine Bush here on this field 34-14, another dominating performance. But let's talk about it, Norris. Tonight, it is a big game. You know, we talked about it off the air. You cannot downplay any opponent. You have to take each game just as serious as the last. You have to treat this like it was the Newburgh game, which they had a great performance as well. What do you think, first and foremost, Norris, we're going to see out the gate from these Middy Bears in the playoffs?
Well, first and foremost, DJ, it's been a pleasure to be alongside you again at Wall Radio. Thank you guys so much for the opportunity. Definitely some things that Middletown needs to focus on tonight are just staying true to what they've been successful with all season, you know, having a really good balance between their run game and their pass game, as well as relying in those weapons that they have, you know, in their players to execute the plays that they need to. So I'm excited about, you know, what we're going to see here tonight. I'm excited to see, you know, JoJo Royal and his matriculation into the quarterback position. He's somebody who came in towards the end of last season and was very instrumental in them kind of getting a new surge, a new breath of fresh air. And to see him now and to hear all of the wonderful things that he's done this season is just it's amazing, you know, seeing, you know, hearing, like I mentioned before, how they were last season compared to now is kind of like you said, you know, they kind of carried into what they kind of ended with last season, and that's really amazing to see here tonight.
You know, one of the things that they carried into was that spirit, excuse me, of how they finished the year, 4 straight wins to finish the season, and that's what brought them to the semifinal game against Newburgh, in which they had the unfortunate loss. But just rifling off those wins to finish the year, that attitude, and that's what brought them into this year, knowing that they can be a better team. They, you know, Norris, you remember last year we had about 3 or 4 different quarterback changes. We had some injuries. It was a really up and down season. Yeah. Those first 3 games, which they lost, were really close games, and games that, you know, they were just a play away from winning. They totally, it's like night and day. This year, no game was close except for the one that they lost. To start the season, 3 straight wins, 3 straight opening shutout halves. In those first 3 games, it was either 20 or 30-something-0 at halftime. This team just looks like a complete reverse of what we saw last year. No slow starts. Not knowing how to really win a game down the stretch. They look completely different, and that is predicated on this year, Norris. They have 22 seniors on this team. That experience built in, that kind of confidence, it really boosted young JoJo Royal, who you're going to see tonight, playing so much better. Of course, we could talk about he had a growth spurt. I mean, he's only 13 years old, so JoJo's probably got 2 more in him, too, like by the time he gets to high school. And, you know, like I said to you, I know I said to you before we got on air, Coach talked about him being a 5-year starter here for this program. This is year 2. This is year 1 as a full-time starter all season. You know, he came on late last year. But in year 1, he has totally wowed us with his with his confidence, with his gameplay, and everything else, his leadership on that team. You know, one thing that Coach talked about before the season, Norris, was that when they did the go-away camp, it really helped them bond. And JoJo also did wrestling this year, so he got to bond with a lot of the senior leadership, like Stephen Monchery and a few other guys. Ramir Bradley is on that team too. So it really instilled a lot of trust in them as a team, as a group, and they played like it this year, especially with that senior leadership pointing to JoJo in the summer and saying, he's our guy, let's get behind him. And you've seen that take place here this season, and they've done great around JoJo Royale.
100%. You know, that's what you want to hear and you want to see from a team is that chemistry, right? You know, spending that time in the off season to build up, to develop relationships, because a lot of these, you know, essentially these guys are going into war right now, right? You know, they're meeting with each other hand in hand, and they're attacking it together. You know, I remember plenty of those memories. I know I'm sure you have your own memories of going out there with your teammates and just those relationships that you develop here and now, and all that time spent in the off season leading up to the season. You know, it's just amazing to hear that, and that's what you want to hear from every single team, especially the Middletown Community team.
Especially our team, Norris.
Right.
You know, we talk about it. These guys are our team. Not only do we play here, we lived here. We are a part of this community. This is where we were raised at. So we, of course, want to see our guys do well. This is where our people are, our families, and our friends. So, of course, it's all about watching Middletown do great. This is going to be an excellent this has just been an excellent season, and just the atmosphere going into the playoffs, hosting a home playoff game for the first time, and the first time since 1994 that we have the opportunity to win a fall championship. Like I said, we won it 3 years ago, but that was in the shortened spring season of 2020. Still, congratulations to them. You had to play the games in front of you, and they were the Section 9 champions. But we're looking to do that in the fall season, and we know fall football just means more, not just around here, but in high school sports all together there. So it's going to be just an amazing atmosphere as more people are coming in. I know it's a little slow, but they do have the security check there at the door. So if you're coming in, don't forget, guys, no bags allowed. You will be checked at the gate. You know, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have our national anthem played by the high school band, and then we're going to get right into game time action. We're under 2 minutes here to go before it's Middies playoff football. You're listening to Middletown Football on Wall Radio, brought to you by the Orange County Stop DWI and Traffic Safety Program.
So, Benjamin, what seems to be the problem?
I need you to unhinge my jaw.
I'm sorry, uncinch your bra?
No, I need you to unhinge my jaw.
He had one of those deliciously huge deli sandwiches from Shortstop Deli on East Main Street in Middletown.
Oh, unhinge your jaw. Got it, okay. Those are tasty.
Got a huge hunger? You need Shortstop Deli, open every day, 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. Everything is served fast and fresh by Russ and the gang. Shortstop Deli, Shutt Road and East Main in Middletown.
Great service, great staff, great reputation. That's Steve Dodd Plumbing and Heating, working hard to maintain that reputation they've built over the years. The Steve Dodd team is your go-to for exceptional service and maintenance of heating systems, water heaters, and water pumps. Their experienced, licensed, and insured professionals are here for you for simple repairs to full renovations. Call 845-386-2217 and have your heating system checked for the season. Steve Dodd Plumbing and Heating. Call today.
Mid-City Transit is a proud supporter of the Middletown High School football team, and right now they're looking for drivers to join their team. To apply today, visit midcitytransit.com. Since 1935, Mid-City Transit has been transporting the children of the Middletown School District, always committed to providing those children with a safe, reliable bus service. Mid-City Transit is also available for charters, wedding shuttles, family reunions, and trips. Everyone at Mid-City Transit wishes the Middletown High School football team good luck this season. Go Middies!
This is Middletown High School football on Wall Radio.
Back to Middletown football here on Wall Radio, and we just had the seniors go out to center field for the coin flip. And right now we are going to turn it up, and we are going to let it be taken away from the Middletown High School senior band. They're going to play our national anthem. And there you have it, our national anthem played by the Middletown High School Band. All of the pomp and circumstance is now done, so there's nothing left to do but get this party started in here. And it is playoff football time, and we cannot wait. Head referee today is going to be Steve Van Buren. Steve, a voice and a name you guys have heard plenty as we've done a lot of Section 9 football with Steve, whether it be here or at many other facilities here in Orange County alike. And he has brought his great staff with him here. Tonight, the Middie Bears are wearing all blue at home, blue pants and the blue jerseys with the large white jersey numbers there. Black piping outlining the jerseys, of course, with the Middie helmet. Numbers on one side, Middie logo on the other. And then, of course, we have the visiting team, who is going to be receiving the opening kickoff. The visiting team, the Bushmen, in all white. White pants, white jerseys with the navy numbers, with the gold piping outlining the numbers, and, of course, the helmet reminiscent of the University of Michigan Wolverines. And here we go for the opening kickoff in the first quarter, brought to you by Steve Dodd Plumbing and Heating. The Middies set to take stage here, first ever home playoff game, and we are underway. And it's fielded there at the 15. Here they come back to the 20, the 25. Good return by the Bushman. He gets past the defender. He's past midfield. 45 to the 40. Finally brought down. Huge hit by Caden Blackman there to end that one. And wow, the Bushmen start off with excellent field position. A 45-plus yard return on the opening kickoff, Norris. And, man, you can't underestimate any opponent. They're going to start with the ball. It looks like it's going to be on the 38-yard line. And, woof, a short field here for the Bushmen to start on offense.
Yeah, that was a little scary for a moment to be the opening kickoff. But great hustle there by Caden Blackman, their senior. His tenacity just now to kind of catch him from behind is really great to kind of stop a big run.
Looking to stop the big run. Watch out for Plexico Brooks, man in motion there. Looks like it's Luke Broadbelt again. And they're coming out of motion, swinging to the left side, and he throws it, pass complete, and he's quickly brought down after just a 3-yard gain. Tristan Santos, the junior quarterback leading this team. Tristan Santos, try that as he might, couldn't get too many points on the board a few weeks ago here at Fowler Field, and they're starting off out of the shotgun, passing it already. And they have themselves a 4-yard gain. Pine Bush looking to play aggressive.
And that was great pressure coming up from the Middie defensive line, allow him to kind of have to scramble out of the pocket there to kind of throw it as fast as he could to avoid the sack.
Great rollout there by Santos. Santos sends a man in motion again. It's Broadbelt. Santos rolling to the right this time. No, it's a handoff, and he's quickly met by that defensive line. That was to Emmanuel Hannon. Hannon just gets met right up the middle. And, man, that vaunted defensive line, we talked about it before. We've been talking about it all season, led by Stephen Montre, gives them a 1-yard loss. It's going to be 3rd and 7. 10:45 moving on the clock here early on in the first quarter. Not the Wolverines, the Bushmen moving from left to right towards MHS. I told you that helmet, very reminiscent of the Michigan Wolverines. Caught me off guard for a second. Santos in the shotgun. Santos looks right quickly, and the pass is intercepted. Intercepted and is going back the other way. It's Michael Culver, interception to the 10, the 5, touchdown, Midi Bears. And it's a 45-yard pick six there for Michael Culver all the way back. Middletown on the board, 6-0 as we line up for the Mid-City Transit extra point.
Excellent awareness there by Michael Culver there. He was able to be right in the right place at the right time to snag the ball. Great pressure there from the Middletown defense, and that is exactly plays that have led them to the success that they've had this season.
And there it is as we line up for the Mid-City Transit extra point. Michael Culver with the pick six return, and man, scary hours indeed, but on the other side of the ball for the Middies. Kick is up, and the kick is good. We got a score of 7-0 here in the first quarter, brought to you by Steve Dodd Plumbing and Heating. Let's take a quick break. You're listening to Middletown Football on Wall Radio, brought to you by the Orange County Stop DWI and Traffic Safety Program.
Great service, great staff, great reputation. That's Steve Dodd Plumbing and Heating, working hard to maintain that reputation they've built over the years. The Steve Dodd team is your go-to for exceptional service and maintenance of heating systems, water heaters, and water pumps. Their experienced, licensed, and insured professionals are here for you for simple repairs to full renovations. Call 845-386-2217 and have your heating system checked for the season. Steve Dodd Plumbing and Heating. Call today.
Time to get back to the action. It's Middies football on Wall Radio.
Back to Middletown football here on Wall Radio. Score is 7-0, 10:18 to go here in the first quarter after the pick six of over 60 yards by Michael Culver there, taking it back to the house. And the Bushmen looked like they were going to get a great start on offense after a huge return. Let's see what they could do here on their second return of the game already.
Great response there by the Middletown defense. They gave up good field position in the beginning, but great way to respond there with a pick six.
And it's another big booming kick. Here comes the return there by the Bushmen, and this time he's brought down before we get to the 20-yard line. Ball is going to be fielded at about the 18-yard line, and that is where the Bushmen will start their second series on offense.
Great job there by the special teams team for the Middies, stopping them before the 20-yard mark, giving the Bushmen a tough time now to have to kind of work for those yards and to be able to see what they're made of early on in the game.
It's going to be a huge challenge here, as we just saw playmakers in the defensive backfield. You know, I talked about guys like G.O.B. and Caden Blackman. Caden, who made the huge hit on special teams. But this one was Michael Culver, an offensive playmaker. Santos, he was in shotgun, but we got laundry on the field. Let's see what Steve Van Buren has to say on this call. And it was a false start on the offense. False start on the offense, that's going to bring them back. And it's going to be a 1st and 15 here to start for the Bushmen. Ball is going to be placed on the 14-yard line. Not exactly where you want to be after you just had a pick six and you thought you had some momentum on your opening drive.
Yeah, not at all. You can't be going backwards in this game, only forward.
Santos sends a man in motion again, and it looks like it's going to be an option run to the outside, and he's going way deep on the outside, loses a few more yards. That was Emmanuel Hannon just getting that option run, going outside, but just cutting a little too deep, Norris, not really going upfield on that, and it takes it for an even deeper loss. And it's going to be 2nd and 19 here set up for the Bushmen.
Yeah, and even if he tried to kind of cut it up there to get north and south, there was a swarm of middies to meet them, to get right in their run fits, to meet him right at the line of scrimmage of where he was trying to be. So I think he kind of just took the path to least resistance there and just to kind of get out of bounds.
You know, Emmanuel Hannon there, who is a great runner, just couldn't find anything. Defense did a great job of staying at home. Santos in the shotgun looks right to his left and gets the pass complete. Only a few yards gained before he is whacked there by the Middletown defense. I think that was our guy Jelani Graham making a play out there on the defensive side. Yes, it was. Big Jelani Graham, who's known for just blowing people over, coming out of the offensive backfield, makes a big play there on the defense, and it's going to be 3rd and 15, 3rd and long, under 10 minutes to go here in the first quarter, brought to you by Steve Dodd Plumbing and Heating. Midi Bears are up 7-0 after a pick six by Michael Culver. Took it over 60 yards back to the house as Santos in the offense. Tristan Santos, the junior quarterback here of the Bushmen, looking to drum something up. 3 wide receivers stretched out wide. Man in motion again. Santos going to get it. He's got some pressure on him already up the middle, and it looks like he is sacked. Is it a safety? Nope, they're calling it. He is sacked inside the 5-yard line. He's going to be brought down at about the one. It looks like the 1.5-yard line, and that's where they're going to have to punt from. They're going to be punting way deep out of the end zone, Norris. An excellent play there by this Middies defense. Again, bringing them back to the 2-yard line is officially where the ball's going to have to be snapped from, and that's where they're going to punt.
Yeah, I mean, this is just an incredible performance that we're seeing here tonight from the Middletown defense. You know, last year we kind of saw them have glimpses of this, but like right tonight they're just all steams ahead. They understand what's at stake here. They want to get to next week.
Absolutely. You can't look ahead, but you can absolutely have hope for the future. And this is the kick out of the end zone. It's favorable for the Middies. It's going to be fielded at the 35, in and out of the hands, but he gets it. He's going back, way back to the 20 now, and he's out of bounds. That was our guy, Caden Blackman. Caden taking that punt into the red zone, and it's going to be down at the 17. Excellent return there by Blackman, and here comes the Middies offense with a very short field for their first drive.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this first glimpse of Jaden Royal. You know, we've heard some big talk. I've heard some big talk about him this season, so I can't wait to see what the offense him and Coach Strenfeld come up with to see if they can punch it in for another touchdown.
You know, one of the guys who just made a huge play there on defense, talked about him before, and Jelani Graham, right there in the backfield as Royal. He's under center, sending Calvin Perez in motion from left to right. Hands it off to Jelani Graham. Jelani Graham picks up a few yards on there. More than a few. It's a good 5-yard gain for Graham. Ball down inside the 15, going to be placed at the 13, 2nd and 5 for the Midi Bears.
Great blocking up front there from the Middletown offensive line. You know, they've done a really great job. Even we saw that last year by guys like Ramir Bradley, you know, Stephen Monterey, kind of creating those nice open holes for power plays like that, you know, to gain those 5 yards, 10 yards at a clip. Good job.
Royal under center. Here comes Culver, hands it off. He's stretching way out to the outside. Has a block there by Jelani Graham. He gets inside the 5, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 4-yard line. Great job picking up the first down by Michael Culver. Culver there with already a touchdown to his name on the defensive side of the ball. Almost picked up another one here just running it. And it's going to be a 1st and goal here for the Middies. 7:40 on the clock. 7-0 Middies over the Bushmen, and they are looking to punch in their 2nd score of the first quarter.
Way to be creative there by Michael Culver. He kind of turned something into nothing. There was a lot of Bushmen, you know, getting in his path and his angles. So he kind of, for him bouncing it around, was really creative to get his team closer to getting this end zone touchdown.
He's a very special athlete. He's very shifty, lower center of gravity. And again, it's a turnaround, handoff to Jelani Graham, and he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Midi Bears. 13-0 as we line up for the Mid-City Transit extra point. And Middletown came to handle business. The lights are going. And it is just business as usual today here for the Midi Bears as we line up for the Mid-City Transit extra point, looking to tack one more on and make it 14-0.
I like that with the lights there when touchdowns. That's really nice.
I'll just wait till it gets a little darker out here, Norris. I think we got one more in us. The kick is up. And the kick is good. Excellent job by Juan Twiggy. 14-0 with 7:29 here to go in the first quarter, brought to you by Steve Dodd Plumbing and Heating. We're going to take another quick break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Middletown Football on Wall Radio, brought to you by the Orange County Stop DWI and Traffic Safety Program.
Since November 1st, 2020, all motor vehicle passengers aged 16 and older must be restrained by a seatbelt. Seatbelt safety starts with you. Encourage others to wear their seatbelt every trip, every time. Increasing seatbelt and child safety seat use is the most effective way to reduce crash-related injuries and fatalities. A message brought to you by Orange County Traffic Safety Program and New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Paid for by ADAC through Stop DWI.
So, Benjamin, what seems to be the problem?
I need you to unhinge my jaw.
I'm sorry, uncinch your bra?
No, I need you to unhinge my jaw.
He had one of those deliciously huge deli sandwiches from Shortstop Deli on East Main Street in Middletown.
Oh, unhinge your jaw. Got it, okay. Those are tasty.
Got a huge hunger? You need Shortstop Deli, open every day, 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. Everything is served fast and fresh by Russ and the gang. Shortstop Deli, Shutt Road and East Main in Middletown.
Time to get back to the action. It's Middies football on Wall Radio.
Back to Middletown football here on Wall Radio. We are still in the first quarter. G.J. McPherson alongside Norris Gibson, 7:24 to go. In the first quarter, brought to you by Steve Dodd Plumbing and Heating. The Middy Bears are up 14-0 here in their first home playoff game at Fowler Field. And what beautiful facilities to have a playoff game in. We just had the kickoff there by the Middy Bears, and that was fielded by Emmanuel Hannon. Hannon gets back to the 20-yard line. First play of this drive, Santos in the shotgun, hands it off to Hannon, and Hannon is brought down in the backfield for a big loss, 4-yard loss for the Bushmen. Excellent job there by that Middies defense, just blowing up the play and getting in the backfield.
Excellent job there by Zamir Seabury. He got back there and it's kind of exposed that run play. Great job there by him, kind of getting in, finding that hole, getting in that gap, and getting the stop. So good job to him.
Seabury, another playmaker here on this defense. You know, we talk so much all season about that front four, that front five, of course, led by Stephen Monchery, Randy Fernandez, Ramir Bradley, those guys. But there's so many guys on this team. I mean, we saw Michael Culver run back a pick six today. Under center this time, Santos is going to hand it off. And, man, he is battling through. It looks like that was Jake Schroling. Jake picking up a few yards there, getting past the original line of scrimmage to pick up a 4-yard gain past the line of scrimmage. That's 7 yards altogether. It's going to be 3rd and 7 here for the Bushmen. They need to convert a 3rd down here. Let's see if they want to go back to putting the ball in the air, but you got to be cautious the way this Middies defense has been ball hawking so far.
Yeah, 100%. Middletown's done a really great job of being in the right place at the right time, staying home, staying in their zones.
Tristan Santos in the shotgun, 4 wide receivers stretched out, and it's going to be a big bomb going down the right side, and that is incomplete. Pass was intended for Logan Howley. Howley just couldn't get real separation away from Michael Culver, and that's going to bring up 4th and 7, and here comes the punt unit again for the Bushmen.
Yeah, another unfortunate play there for the Bushmen. I mean, they went to the air like he had mentioned, but if he had maybe another little bit more air underneath that, he could have had it in front of him. And then that could have been at least down by the 50-yard line is where we could say in this next play. But unfortunately, it didn't have enough air.
No air underneath it. I also credit that to the defense that got in his face there again in the backfield. They're just very disruptive here at Norris, as you could see. As the Bushmen line up for the punt, they're going to be punting. Looks like from about the 10 to the 12-yard line. That kick is up, doesn't get too long, and that's Elijah Georges in and out of his hands, and he is whacked, and he fumbles the ball, but does he get back on it? Elijah Georges really couldn't handle that. Let's see who has the ball here when we get up. And it looks like it's the Bushman's ball. It's Pine Bush ball. They're calling it in favor of Pine Bush. Elijah Georges tried to get that wonky-looking punt into his hands, came out. Georges picks it back up, but he took a big hit from that Bushman defense, and then the ball came out again. And it looks like the Bushmen get beyond midfield like they tried to with their pass, and here we go. Pine Bush ball, they're going to be starting at the 47-yard line in Middletown territory.
Yeah, unfortunately, you hate to see it. He just kind of fumbled the pass there, the kick, rather. And unfortunately, they had a turnover.
First turnover for the Midi Bears in this game. Man in motion, Santos. He's under center. Now there's 2 men in motion, and it looks like there's a flag. Could be an illegal motion. Let's see exactly what the play was. That was a pitch out there to Plexico Brooks. Brooks is a huge playmaker for the Bushmen. And it looks like that is on the Pine Bush offense. A whole lot of movement going on there on that play. A lot of shiftiness, a lot of motion in this offense. It could lead to things like that.
Yeah, I think they're really kind of just trying to find their rhythm here. So they're kind of just figuring out, what works. Motion in the back, just to do anything to kind of get Middletown off their game, to see if they can cause any type of confusion, to hopefully get a good play, get a big break, to kind of change the momentum of their offense in their game.
It's actually working against them, as now we have 1st and 15, and they are now back in Pine Bush territory. Ball is going to be on the 48-yard line in their territory. 1st and 15, 5:07 here to go in the first quarter. Middies up 14-0. Santos out of the shotgun. There's 4 wide receivers. Here comes the pressure of the defense, and the pass is complete. But no, it's incomplete. In and out of the hands of, it was Emmanuel Hannon, just couldn't bring the ball down. It's going to be 2nd and 15. We're under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Brought to you by Steve Dodd Plumbing and Heating. And the Middletown and Midi Bears on both sides of the ball pretty much dominating so far.
Indeed they are. They're getting that pressure. The backs and the linebackers are kind of right where they need to be. If he had called the ball, number 21, Jared Howell, would have been right there to make the play. So the Middies are playing sound football right now on both sides of the ball. Good for them.
4 wide receivers for Santos. Man in motion, it's Plexico Brooks again. And man, a whole lot of blue shirts in the backfield there. Pass incomplete, intended for Emmanuel Hannon. And man, there were 1, 2, 3, 4 blue Midi jerseys as soon as Brooks, not Brooks, but Jaden. Why did I get the court? Tristan Santos. As soon as Tristan Santos just backed up the pass there, 4 Middies in his face, just couldn't get it going. Incomplete. 3rd and 15 here for the Bushmen.
Excellent pressure there from the Middletown defensive front. You guys speed like Bryson Tibbs, number 80, coming off the side, screaming off the sideline, off the edge right there. So, you have that coming in your face. I mean, you got to throw it. Try to get it as fast out as you can.
And again, guys in his face, pass complete by Santos, and he's moving. This one is Hannon. Hannon gets picked up and dropped to the turf just after he gets past the original line of scrimmage. That's going to bring up 4th and 8. And it looks like the Bushmen are going to go for it on this drive. On 4th down, 4:30 to go here. The clock is ticking in the first quarter, brought to you by Steve Dodd.
They're not deep in their own territory, so I could understand why they would want to go for it. But, in this instance, the way Middletown's playing, I mean, I would just kind of do anything at this point to kind of get an edge, to kind of lift up the spirits of our line, in our offense, to see if we can get a spark going.
Look out for those quick, hot reads that they like to do. Look to get the guy on the outside flats, and it's going to be a double pitch option pass for the running back. And there was a pass interference there. Pass went way downfield. They tried to get it back to the quarterback. And, man, it looked like Michael Culver was just draping all over the quarterback there and just couldn't get it off.
Yeah, he tried to be subtle about that one, but the ref unfortunately saw the grabbing of the jersey and kind of cost him in that situation. So, unfortunately, can't do that.
Option pass, that was a double. It looked like it was going to be a double reverse, turned into a halfback option pass, or the wide receiver option pass, and it was going out for Tristan Santos. Santos was covered by Michael Culver. Culver touched him, defensive pass interference, and that gave him a free set of first downs. Ball's going to be on the 30-yard line. The chains have moved for the first time here for the Bushmen. For the second time here. The first time was on the botched punt return.
That play's become pretty famous since the Patriots ran it in that Super Bowl that
That's right. Tristan Santos with 4 wide receivers rolling out to his right. Here comes some pressure. Pass is complete. And is it a first down? Yes, he's brought down after the 20-yard line. Pass was complete to Plexico Brooks. Brooks, again, a big playmaker for this offense. It looks like they're not going to give them the first down. They're going to mark it about the 19.5-yard line. So it's going to be second and just a foot. Second and short.
And Plexico's helmet came off on that last play, so according to those rules, he has to come off to the sideline, get checked, and for one play, and then he can come back right after.
Looks like that's Brandon Gonzalez that has come in for Plexico Brooks. Let's see what they want to drum up here, and it's Santos again in the shotgun. 1 running back, 3 wide receivers, 2 going out to the far sideline. They're working from the right hash, and he's rolling out to his left, and it looks like it's going to be an option. Yes, it is. Options out to Manuel Hannon. Hannon only picks up 2 yards on that play.
They tried to hang on to that option as long as they could. He tried to scrape off as many yards as he could before he pitched it. So good attempt there, but the Middletown defense has just been right where they need to be at, and they've really had no answer for this offense. I mean, they've really had an answer for this offense, I should say.
No answer yet to this Middletown defense, but they are moving the ball downfield. Now, clearly there was the huge play that got him downfield on the 4th down there, Michael Culver, who had a pick 6, now with the defensive pass interference. Still 14-0 Midi Bears. 2 minutes, 30 seconds to go in the first quarter, brought to you by Steve Dodd. And the Bushmen on a 2nd and 8 are looking to get into the end zone, in the red zone for the first time. A lot of motion, and that's another offensive penalty. Let's see what Van Buren has to say. And that was a delay of game on the offense. Another offensive penalty there for the Bushmen, whether it be the illegal motion, whether it be a false start, and now we have delay of game just costing themselves with the penalties, Norris.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is now their 4th penalty, I think, for this quarter.
For the quarter, yeah.
This is not a good way to start off the game. This is not how you can't win playoff games, in penalties. So I believe now this is 15 yards in penalties. Can't have this.
15 yards in penalties. And a detrimental 2nd and 13, under 2 minutes to go, and it's a pitch out here. It's an option pass again. That one's going long, and it's complete to Logan Halley. Halley gets into the end zone, and that's a touchdown for the Pine Bush Bushmen.
The Bushmen, they're getting clever now. They're noticing that Middletown is bringing that pressure, so now that they're bringing that pressure, the defensive backs are going to be bringing that pressure along with them, so that kind of frees up more of their receivers' time to kind of air it over the top and just have to do one-on-one battles between the DBs and the wide receivers.
Brings us to a score of 14-6. Still, the Middies still have the lead as we line up for the Mid-City Transit extra point. Let's see what we got here on the kick. Kick is up. And that is good. It's 14-7. Middies still have a 1-touchdown lead here. Under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Middletown Football on Wall Radio, brought to you by the Orange County Stop DWI and Traffic Safety Program.
While the hunters are trying every trick of the book to bag a 6-pointer, the rest of us have no trouble at all finding deer. No need to hunt for a repair shop. 86 Auto World has you covered with repairs and oil changes to windshields and, yes, body work. If they find another repair is needed, they tell you, not upsell you. 86 Auto World takes pride in honest quality repairs and service. If you're looking to find a repair shop you can trust, it's 86 Auto World, 86 East Main Street, Middletown, and 86autoworld.com.
This is Middletown High School football on Wall Radio.
Back to Middletown football here on Wall Radio. DJ McPherson alongside Norris Gibson. 1:50 to go here in the first quarter. The Pine Bush Bushmen have finally scored here in the game. It's 14-7. Middletown still on top by a score as we are set to get the kickoff. And it's a squib kick here by Pine Bush. Middletown gets it at about the 35. And it's going to be a short return of just about 10 yards. Ball's going to be placed down at the 42-yard line, and that is where JoJo Royale is going to lead this offense, hopefully to get another score, maybe even before we go into the second quarter. You know, they can make these big plays, so watch out for these for the Middies on offense.
Yeah, the Middies can definitely, with this team, flip the switch rather quickly. We saw that, early on in the game. Funny enough, this has kind of been a very defensive-heavy game for the Middletown Middies this time around. We haven't really seen much of their offense. So this is a good time to, give the defense a little bit of a break.
Royal out of the shotgun. He's going to hand it off to Calvin Perez. Calvin is going to pick up a couple of yards on this play. Looks like about a 2-yard gain for Perez. The ball's going to be down at the 44, so that's going to be 2nd and 8 here for the Middies. Calvin Perez. I know I told you before the game that that's a name you want to watch out for. Calvin Perez, Quentin Langlet, guys that besides Jelani Graham and Michael Culver, you're going to be seeing those names, especially when they want to mix it up more. Middies come out, shotgun again, 2 wide receivers stretched out far, and it's JoJo Royale looking to his right, and then it is complete. It bounced off of his hands, and that was to Michael Culver. Michael Culver picks it up, but only gets about a yard on the play, quickly wrapped up by the Pine Bush defender. But Michael Culver bobbled that one. The pass got to him, hit him in the hands. Culver quickly brought it down out of the air before it could have been picked off.
Yeah, excellent juggle there by the tight end, number 80, Bryson Tibbs. He brought that in just at the last minute, and it actually could have been an incomplete pass, but really great hands by him.
Motion by Culver. JoJo looking downfield, has a man open. It's Elijah Georges inside the 5, touchdown, Midi Bears. And Elijah Georges makes up for that botched punt return and gets a 54-yard touchdown out of it. Touchdown, Midi Bears. We are up 20-7. But wait a sec, no. They're saying he was out of bounds. He stepped out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Still an amazing catch and run by Elijah Georges. Georges picking up the first down and some, not the touchdown like we thought.
Even still, that was a tremendous catch. He had to really sprint for that ball, but it had great air time. So good job by JoJo Royal to put some nice air under it.
Great job by Elijah Georges there. 13 seconds to go here in the first. We're going to turn around and hand it off to Jelani Graham. Graham picks up a couple of yards, and it looks like that is going to end the first quarter here. It's going to be 2nd and 7 when we come right back. You're listening to Middletown Football, 14-7 here at the end of the first quarter. You're listening to Middletown Football on Wall Radio, brought to you by the Orange County Stop DWI and Traffic Safety Program.
Mid-City Transit is a proud supporter of the Middletown High School football team. And right now, they're looking for drivers to join their team. To apply today, visit midcitytransit.com. Since 1935, Mid-City Transit has been transporting the children of the Middletown School District, always committed to providing those children with a safe and reliable bus service. Mid-City Transit is also available for charters, wedding shuttles, family reunions, and trips. Everyone at Mid-City Transit wishes the Middletown High School football team good luck this season. Go Middies!
This is Middletown High School football on Wall Radio.
Back to Middletown football here on Wall Radio. There's a little bit of confusion out here on the field and even some in the booth. While we were at commercial break, there was a play that was run, but the clock for the timeout for the quarter changeover had already started. It looks like they're deliberating. Was that a play, Norris? I don't think so. We didn't even move to the other side of the field.
Yeah, I just think there was a little bit of miscommunication.
Right.
Just on some areas. Because I think now we're going to the other side of the field now. So I think that's what was initially supposed to happen at the end of the quarter, but it's happening now. So just think it was just a bit of a mix-up.
Little bit of confusion, but let's talk about that great first quarter there by the Midi Bears. Score is 14-7. First score came on a pick six of over 60 yards there by Michael Culver early on with 10:18 to go there in the first quarter. Michael Culver just showing his prowess and playmaking ability on the defensive side of the ball this time. We know what kind of offensive playmaker he is. And then we had the 4-yard touchdown run by Jelani Graham, the big man, just stuffing it up the middle and getting in there, leading us to 14 points. but the Bushmen weren't done. After a critical defensive pass interference call there on Michael Culver, the hero of the first quarter, Pine Bush came downfield, had a couple of plays go their way, and on a double reverse option pass, they get the ball in the end zone. Logan Howley on the receiving end of that, and it looks like we are going to start the second quarter here. And it's Michael Culver up the middle and through the outside, gets a huge first down for the Midi Bears, and they are inside the 10-yard line.
Great awareness and agility there by Michael Culver. He was able to kind of bounce off of defenders, cut through different lanes, and create new angles during his run there. And a great job by the offensive line by giving him those holes and allowing him to be able to get to the next level, to be able to get a gain of almost 12.
First and goal here for the Midi Bears. Ball is on the 7-yard line again. It's a handoff up to Jelani Graham in the middle. Touchdown. Midi Bears, big number 15. His second score of the game. It's 20-7 as we line up for the Mid-City Transit extra point.
Excellent play there by Giuliani Graham. Again, the offensive line has just done a tremendous job tonight by opening up holes for their running backs. If they wanted to, they really could just keep it on the ground, kind of eat away a lot of the clock to not give Pine Bush enough time to even have a really bit of a say-so in this game. But it's still pretty early on, and I would like to see, how Pine Bush responds. They're down 2 scores right now, and Middletown seems to not be losing any gas in this portion of the game. So I want to see how Pine Bush responds in this next half.
And Middletown has made their mistakes, but they've more than made up for it with their playmaking ability and just being able to stay out front. And it looks like that was a penalty against the Bushmen after the touchdown, and that penalty is going to be assessed on the kickoff, so it'll probably drive him back as we get ready for the Mid-City Transit extra point. It's our guy Juan Twiggy Arzu, and that is blocked. The extra point is blocked, no good. So that keeps us at a score of 20-7. Let's take one quick break. You're listening to Middletown Football, up 27 over Pine Bush with 11:45 here to go. Middletown Football on Wall Radio, brought to you by the Orange County Stop DWI and Traffic Safety Program.
WPDH HD2 HD4 Poughkeepsie.
Serving Ulster, Dutchess, and Orange counties.
This is the Hudson Valley's hometown station.
WALL, Middletown, New York, USA.
Driving while impaired has serious consequences. In 2021, 10,147 alcohol and drug-related crashes occurred, while more than 9 people per day were arrested for impaired driving in New York State. If you feel different, you drive different. Before you go out, always have a plan to get home safe. A message brought to you by Orange County Stop DWI and Traffic Safety Program and New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Paid for by ANAC through Stop DWI.
Time to get back to the action. It's Middies football on Wall Radio.
Back to Middletown football here on Wall Radio. Middletown is going to kick it off, and that is a deep booming kick in and out over the end zone. And that's going to be brought back to it's going to be a touchback brought down to the 20-yard line for the Bushmen, where they will start. It's 11:45 here to go in the second quarter, where the Midi Bears lead 20-7 over the Bushmen after we had the second touchdown of the day from big guy number 15, Jelani Graham, just powering it in for a 7-yard touchdown. And Middies showing some dominating form here on both sides of the ball, but they're still making a few mistakes, and they let Pine Bush come in and get a score here, Norris.
Yeah, for sure. But like we've been talking about all game, is they've done a really great job of making that up, literally within the next drive. So
right. And they're doing that every drive. Santos turns around and hands it off. It's going to be a short gain by the running back, and it's going to bring up 2nd and 9. And Norris, yes, as you were saying, they're making up for it. We saw Elijah Georges. He just couldn't field the kick on the punt return. Elijah Georges comes out, a great catch and run, picks up a little bit of yak. Unfortunately, stepped out of bounds, almost turned it into a 50-plus yard touchdown. But Elijah Georges showing, hey, I still got the hands, man. Don't count me out here. Still making plays.
That's right.
Tristan Santos lining up in shotgun. 3 wide receivers. 2 here to the near sideline. Has a man in motion. It's Logan Holly. Santos going out. It looks like it's going to be an option, but he's going to keep it himself. And Santos picks up a few yards on that play. Good job by Santos getting past the 25-yard line. It was a gain of about 4 yards. It's going to be 3rd and 4.
He wants to take matters into his own hands and give his team some kind of momentum in this drive. They've done a good job so far of just trucking along, not really worrying about what's going on defensively, not really focusing on so much on the scoreboard. They're trying to make something happen here.
3rd and 4 for Pine Bush, 10:21 here to go. They're working from right to left out towards 211. Santos going for the pass, but he's got a man, gets away from the sack, and man, gets the pass complete, quickly met by the defender, and no go on that one. I think it was a loss of yards. No, it's just a 1-yard gain. Ramon Alexander just playing on the outside there, just smacked Plexico Brooks as he caught that pass, and just 1-yard gain is going to bring up 4th and short here. 4th and 2 here for the Bushmen. That was a 2-yard gain on 3rd down. And it looks like they are going to punt the ball, in fact. Ramon Alexander just coming up and making a huge play on that one, not letting the wide receiver get any yardage, and he was close enough to get a first down if he had really gotten a few yards of space.
Swarming middies on him.
Here comes Pine Bush. That is a long kick and getting a favorable bounce for the Bushmen. And it looks like it was touched, but did he touch it exactly? I think that was Caden Blackman out there. No, they're saying that he did not touch it. And here comes the Middletown offense. Ball is going to be down at the 28-yard line, and that's where Joe Royale will start. 9:15 here to go, 2nd quarter. Middies up 27 here in the first home playoff game here at Fowler Field, and we look to have another one next week, as we are keeping we have a 13-point lead here. Middletown looking to keep their foot on the gas on this offensive drive. Looks like a tight bunch formation, probably signaling a run. JoJo Royale, he's under center. Michael Culver in motion, and yes, that's going to be a run. Turn around to Jelani Graham. Jelani Graham has some space, has the blockers, dodges a few guys, gets beyond the 50-yard line. And, man, what a huge play by Jelani Graham. 22 yards, and the ball's going to be down at the 48-yard line. Excellent run by Graham. It looks like they were just trying to pick up a few yards there with that tight bunch formation, and Graham just turned it into something huge.
Yeah, he's a very patient runner.
But wait a sec, there is a flag on the field. Flag on the field, and it looks like it was a holding against the Middies, and that is going to bring us back. It's going to bring us back 5 yards. Holding call against the Middies, going to bring us back. We're going to repeat the first down, but it's going to be a 1st and long here for the Middies. Ball is placed on the 23-yard line now.
That's a bit unfortunate.
Same formation, turns around, hands it off to Graham again, and Graham just powering through. No difference on this play. He's at the 40, 45. It gets to the same field position. Ball's out at the 48-yard line. A 25-yard run play there by Jelani Graham, and Graham just says, you know what, we'll try it again. They get back past midfield into Pine Bush territory. Jelani Graham, what can you say?
Just an amazing run right there by Giuliani Graham. You know, they kind of run the exact same play to the field side, but he then bounces it back to get to the boundary side, which is literally where he ended in the last place. So it was meant for them to be at that spot at that point in time.
Jelani Graham just doing what he did 2 plays in a row. There's no way you could stop it when they're having that kind of fun out there, showing that level of prowess on the offensive line and with their playmakers. Tibbs in motion, tight formation, Langlitz in motion. It's a pitch out to Langlitz. Langlitz gets it. He turns upfield and just powering through, dragging a Pine Bush defender for 8 yards, and it's going to be a 2nd and short. Great job by Quentin Langlitz on that run. just amazing there. Just got the space, and even when he didn't have space there, Norris, you saw it, just took a defender for a ride for about 5 yards.
Just a great overall performance that we're seeing here from the Middletown offense in general. You know, the offensive line is doing what they need to be doing. The fullbacks and running backs are blocking in the ways that they need to. So this is everyone playing together, and this is that synergy and that chemistry that we were talking about over at camp that helps Middletown be successful the way they have been.
And as JoJo turns around, hands the ball off again, this time to Calvin Perez. And Perez picks up a first down, another first down for the Midi Bears. That ball is going to be placed down at the 33-yard line. Middletown just moving the chains. I mean, time and time again here. We saw the big play 2 in a row, even after the offensive penalty there for the Middies by Jelani Graham. This time, Calvin Perez just doing what he can to move the chains. Middletown only with one wide receiver stretched out far here to the near sideline. Quentin Langlitz, he's in motion, but they're going to turn around, hand it off to Jelani Graham. Jelani Graham gets upfield, gets a few yards out of that one. It's a 7-yard gain for the Midi Bears.
Again, they're going back to one of their key runners, number 15, Giuliani Graham. I mean, even last season we saw that him, what was the other gentleman's name? The running back number 4. They were kind of a 1-2 punch that they were going to a lot last year. So to see him kind of carry that on into this season is really great. We knew that he was going to be impactful and that the Middletown was going to have a really strong run base this season. So he's doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing.
Turns around again. This time it's a handoff to Calvin Perez. It's Quentin Langlitz. And Langlitz just no gain on that one. Looks like maybe about a half a yard. That's going to bring up 3rd and short, 3rd and 4 here for the Middies. 3rd and 3 to be exact. 3rd and 3 for the Midi Bears. Ball is on the 26-yard line. 6:45 here to go in the second quarter. Middies up 20-7. Working from left to right out towards MHS. Doing a great job of controlling the clock on this drive. JoJo Royale sends a man in motion. And it's Culver. Culver going left and then back. And then it's a handoff to Jelani Graham. Jelani Graham has the first down. Still pouncing guys off of him as he's running downfield. After the first down, picks up another 7 yards. Excellent job by Jelani Graham. First down for the Midi Bears inside the 20-yard line.
I mean, he's running so hard right now. It's taking at least 3 to 4 defenders per each of his carries to bring him down. So he's playing out of his mind right now.
Playing crazy right now. And you know what? It looks like they're really warmed up with this run game because they're just doing back-to-back runs and just barreling downfield on this defensive line, the defense in general, and just doing whatever they want to. And again, turns it around. We're trying to hand it off. No, it was a keeper. No, Calvin Perez. It looked like there was a bit of an option there, but Pine Bush got into the backfield and made things kind of muddied the waters there. But Calvin Perez gets out, gets a 4-yard gain on that, puts the ball inside the 15-yard line down at the 14. 2nd and 6 here for the Midi Bears. Great job by Calvin Perez turning what could have been a loss of yardage into something.
Absolutely. Even that could have went, it could have went a different way, but them going forward is what is allowing this Middletown offense to be as successful as they have been, is because they just keep on going forward, never backwards.
Middletown just doing what it wants. Here we come up on 5 minutes here in the second quarter. And it's JoJo turning around again just to hand it off. And just another running back. I believe that one was, that was Jelani Graham. I was about to call out Quentin Langlitz. Jelani Graham getting close to the first down. It's going to be a 3rd and short, just a yard, 3rd and 1. Here for the Midi Bears, we're under 5 minutes to go. They still have a 13-point lead.
This is an excellent strategy here by Coach Strenfeld, just really taking his time, chewing time off of the clock. And now they got about 15 seconds here to call the play, but he kind of held JoJo out there for an extra 5 seconds or so just to kind of let that clock burn a little bit. Great, excellent strategy.
Let's see if he hands it off to Graham, and he does. Jelani Graham, he barrels through a man, gets over the 5, still up on his feet, touchdown, Midi Bears, another 8-yard touchdown this time, and it's Jelani Graham's 3rd score of the game, 26-7, Midi Bears as we line up for the Mid-City Transit extra point.
He bounced off 4 defenders just now to get into that, to go out to touchdown. I mean, Middletown is literally doing whatever they want out here tonight. This is amazing to see that, the way that we have a player down on the field right now. This looks like a Pine Bushman.
Looks like one of the Bushmen is down. Let's just take a quick timeout here, quick injury timeout. We're going to come right back. Hopefully he'll get up quickly. You're listening to Middletown Football on Wall Radio, brought to you by the Orange County Stop DWI and Traffic Safety Program.
Great service, great staff, great reputation. That's Steve Dodd Plumbing and Heating, working hard to maintain that reputation they've built over the years. The Steve Dodd team is your go-to for exceptional service and maintenance of heating systems, water heaters, and water pumps. Their experienced, licensed, and insured professionals are here for you for simple repairs to full renovations. Call 845-386-2217 and have your heating system checked for the season. Steve Dodd Plumbing and Heating. Call today. Well, the car's shot. And what they want to charge for a new transmission, we might as well get a new car.
We'll have to 86 it.
I figure we can get something if we trade it in.
No, take it to 86 Auto World. They actually work on transmissions.
86 Auto World is your one-stop auto shop. From oil changes and repairs to tires and body work, they've got you covered. 86 Auto World, 86 East Main Street, Middletown, and at 86autoworld.com.
Time to get back to the action. It's Middies football on Wall Radio.
Back to Middletown football here on Wall Radio. After the touchdown, the score is 26-7. As we're about to reline up for the Mid-City Transit extra point, we had a Bushman down on the field. That was Luke Broadbelt. After the touchdown, he was down. He is back up. He ran off the field under his own power. Always good to see the safety of the players, each and every game. And here we go again, lining up for the Mid-City Transit extra point, 26-7. Middies look to make it a 20-point lead with this one. The kick is up, and again, it is low and blocked, no good. Still a 19-point lead, 26-7. The Middies have a commanding lead over the Pine Bush Bushmen with 4:20 to go here in the second quarter. And guys, do not forget, all week long you could be listening to the greatest hits for Orange County and the Hudson Valley right here on Wall Radio. Go online, wallradio.com, if you're on your desktop, if you're at work, if you just want to listen to some great music, or if you have the dial in the car, 94.1, 105.7, 106.3 on the Wall Radio app. If you got your phone or tablet, you can listen to Kate Brandon in the morning. Monday through Friday, we are Hudson Valley's hometown station. Greatest hits for Orange County and the Hudson Valley here on Wall Radio. But tonight, it's all about the Middies in playoff football here on Wall Radio. We have a 19-point lead, 26-7 here with 4:20 to go. DJ McPherson alongside Norris Gibson. Middletown set to kick it off again. We got the shuffle going on out here. The cheerleaders got the shuffle. Middletown with a great showing from the home crowd that came out to see them in the first home playoff game here at Fowler Field. And it's a big booming kick. That one goes up. It's fielded at about the 13. Here come the Bushmen, get to the 25, almost the 30-yard line. And that is where Santos and this Pine Bush offense is going to come back out, see what they can do before we get to halftime here, Norris.
Yeah, I would, Middletown's doing a really great job now, just being where they need to be at the right time. I know I keep saying that, but it's literally been paying off for them. They just need to keep on playing the way they have been. Keep them at 7 points. There's only 4 minutes and 15 seconds left in the quarter and in the half. Let them go back, stay out on top, refresh, recuperate, and kind of just keep the gas, keep the pedal going and the gas burning here, because they're doing a really great job tonight.
Santos in the shotgun, hands it off, and it was Plexico Brooks, and Brooks looked like he slipped there behind the line. Nobody actually touched him right before he got to a Middletown defender. That's going to be a loss of, it looks like, about 2 yards, going to bring up 2nd and 12. And it looks like our other Neversink Media affiliate game has started. Port Jervis, you can tune in to WDLC, listen to Kevin Halpany, Tom Fagione, and Ethan McElroy. Highland is up 3-0 after a 27-yard field goal over the Port Jervis Raiders right now, still in the first quarter. And here comes the Bushman. Tristan Santos out of the shotgun is passing. Pass complete. Picks up a few extra yards, and we got a first down by the Bushman. Excellent play there. Looks like that was Emmanuel Hannon on that one. No, that was, again, Plexico Brooks. Brooks is their main offensive weapon.
One of the biggest plays of the game, really, just now. That was the first time we've seen the Bushmen come out and get a first down on one of their earlier on plays in the drive. So they could be putting something together here, or they may have just caught Middletown lacking.
Santos looking again to his right. It's a hot read, and the pass is complete. Gets close to the first down again, but they're going to mark it just short. Looks like it's going to be about a 9.5-yard gain. Not going to give it to him. Second and short, under 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Middies are leading 26-7 over the Pine Bush Bushmen here in the semifinal playoff game, the first one at home at Fowler Field, and the first one in the fall season since 1994 for the Middies. And the defense is looking like they're starting to be challenged here for the first time. Santos out of the shotgun again, has some pressure, steps up in the pocket, but he's sacked. Sacked there. Middletown gets its first sack of the game, and that looks like it was Lance Bell. Excellent job there. Lance Bell, the senior playmaker on defense, getting a sack. And it looks like we're going to finally have a timeout here in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's a good way to respond, after giving up, 19 yards between the last two plays. That's what you want to see out of a defense, to kind of respond in a big way with a sack. The quarterback from Pine Bush did have plenty of time, but that pressure from Middletown defense was just overwhelming.
And there was a flag on that play. And the flag was against Pine Bush. You heard it there, Steve Van Buren calling it out, and that's going to bring them back. It was a personal foul, and that'll bring you back quite some yards. That one's going to bring them back 15 yards here. 20 yards, it looks like, Norris. 3rd and 19 here for the Bushmen. 2:22 to go in the second quarter, 26-7. Middies are up by 19 points here at home in the playoffs. Pine Bush again with another costly penalty after they're already starting to move the ball.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate to see, they were all the way up almost at the 40, 49 there. And to go backwards like that is not what you want to see.
And there's the official timeout. What we thought was a timeout was the penalty. First official timeout there, that one used by Middletown, 2:02 to go. Let's take a quick break ourselves. You're listening to Middletown Football on Wall Radio, brought to you by the Orange County Stop DWI and Traffic Safety Program.
Since November 1st, 2020, all motor vehicle passengers aged 16 and older must be restrained by a seatbelt. Seatbelt safety starts with you. Encourage others to wear their seatbelt every trip, every time. Increasing seatbelt and child safety seat use is the most effective way to reduce crash-related injuries and fatalities. A message brought to you by Orange County Traffic Safety Program and New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Paid for by ANAC through Stop DWI.
This is Middletown High School football on Wall Radio.
Back to Middletown football here on Wall Radio. DJ McPherson alongside Norris Gibson. He has returned for the playoffs. We are having a great time here. We got Little Uzi Vert blasting through the speakers. The lights are going. Everybody just wants to rock, and Middletown is definitely rocking with a lead of 19 points. 26-7 over the Pine Bush Bushmen. 2:02 here to go before we cut into halftime. And the Middies are just having a great time. And the Middies are just having a great time here in their first home playoff game. 4 wide receivers. It trips out to the right for Santos. Santos looking to throw downfield. He is hit. Is that ball fumbled? No, they're going to call it incomplete. No beanbags out on the field. And, man, hit as he threw the ball. And that's going to bring up a 4th and long, extra long here for Pine Bush that they have to bring out the punting unit. Excellent job there by the Middies defense that continues to dominate. Outside of that one score there where they were fooled, Middletown defense has done an excellent job.
And adding to that, DJ, Middletown kind of anticipated that they were going to do a deep play. They have a lot of yards to kind of cover right now, so they kind of set up 3 different defenders kind of in the press coverage to kind of deflect anything to not get past them, and that's what you want to do when you're in that type of coverage.
And as we have a late guy coming in, that was Mekhi Wilson getting in on the line before we get the punt off, and that is a big punt for Pine Bush. Excellent job, and this time it is fielded, no problems, but we have another flag on the field. Let's see exactly who this one is against. Middletown taking that one all the way down to midfield. That was Elijah Georges, but let's see exactly what we have here on the play.
Never good seeing Laundry on the field. It looks like it may be on the Middies.
It was behind Middletown. Let's see if they're calling it an illegal block on the Middies. Or what? Let's see what we have. And it was a block in the back. That one was against Joe Mann, it looks like. Joe Mann, the junior DB and third-string quarterback there.
Yeah, he was a little excited on that play. Sometimes those types of plays can happen, unfortunately, but you can't, never can do anything like that, especially in front of the ref, because they will call it.
Refs see everything, and you know what? It's just it's a smaller group of players back there when you're fielding a punt. It's the returner, maybe a gunner or two, and just one other guy. So it's not too many jerseys to go through when you're committing a penalty in that small of a crowd.
Right. Easily spotted.
Very easily. 1:44 here before we get into halftime. The Middies are up 26-7. A great lead here. And it's working for them on both sides of the ball. Jelani Graham with 3 touchdowns already. And out of the shotgun, JoJo's going to roll out to the right, has a man downfield. It's Blackman. Blackman catches it, and it's complete. He was caught up with the defender. It was Blackman versus Luke Broadbelt, and Blackman comes down with it. Caden Blackman winning that. Oh, my God, that was just an amazing pass and catch. Great job by JoJo Royale rolling out to his right, throwing it way downfield over 25 yards in the air as they quickly line up. 4 wide receivers, and it looks like there's going to be a timeout called by the Bushmen. They're using their first timeout. Both teams still have 2 timeouts. Let's keep it right here, though, for a second. Man, what a great job by JoJo Royale rolling out to the right. Caden Blackman had to come back just a step, but he was draped by the defender, Luke Broadbelt, and he came down with it. He just won that battle in the air.
For sure. I mean, and that's just great. That's good that you want to see that confidence within your players. Coach Strenfeld trusting JoJo to get the ball out. JoJo trusting his receiver to win that one-on-one battle with the defensive back. So that's what you want to see, that confidence within the Middletown team, especially going in a playoff game, heading into next week. You don't want to get too far ahead. You still got to play in this time now, but just having that confidence, to be able to go into a game like that, it's just amazing.
It is absolutely amazing just knowing that you have that, as a quarterback, that you have those playmakers, those seniors who are on your side all the time. We talked about that Caden Blackman is just one of them. And it's amazing for the skill position players knowing that you have a quarterback. Look, he was under duress. He still rolled out, and that's the difference that, you've probably seen tonight that, you didn't always see last season when he came on. When he got that kind of pressure, he would take the sack. It would be a turnover, something like that. We've seen, late last season. But this year, he's very poised. He's taken a few hits, still gets the ball downfield. He trusts his receivers. And look how it's just working out here for Joe Royale in this Middies offense. And the Middies coming out in a quad left, 4 wide receivers, and they're setting up for a screen pass. Gets it off to Jelani Graham. Jelani Graham is quickly met by quite a few Pine Bush defenders. Couldn't set up the blocking on that screen out there, and it's going to be a loss of, it looks like, a couple of yards, and that's going to be a Middletown timeout. Timeout by the Middies here in Norris. It looks like, to me, Middletown with just 1 timeout left now after that one. they want to put this ball into the end zone before the half. They really want to get so much of a lead. Tell me, do you think it's because they just want to kind of take it slow when they start the second half? They do get the ball to start the second half. Or are we going to maybe see number 8, Sierra DeGiorgio, make a debut tonight?
I mean, I think personally it's a little bit of sending a message to the other teams in the section that, this is what we're capable of in the first half of the game. So I think for them being ahead and just kind of sending that message is definitely something that they want to carry with them. But yes, to add to your point, I think it might be the opportunity to kind of get the secondaries and some of their depth a little bit of burn, so that way they're kind of fresh going into next week.
Fresh is what you want to be going into next week. We'll see exactly who that opponent is. Either way, it's going to be either Monroe Woodbury or Newburgh. One team we beat, one team we didn't, but I would say they are both dangerous programs that are definitely on Middletown's radar. So you don't want to take, the Bushmen not serious enough. You don't want to, underestimate the Bushmen. You definitely don't want to do it against those guys next week. 1:11 here to go. 26-7. Middies are up. JoJo Royale out of the shotgun, has pressure, steps up in the pocket. He's going to have to run with it himself. No, he looks to throw, and he is sacked. He is sacked. Excellent job there by the Bushman. That was a sack by Ethan Conroe, the tight end and linebacker, bringing Middletown back for another couple of yard losses. Looks like it's going to be 3rd and 15 here for the Middies. Under a minute to go. Middletown not using that last timeout, at least not yet. There's still plenty of time to go on the play clock. Let's see what Coach Strenfield wants to do here, keeping his young quarterback there over to the side. Now he's got the play, getting into the huddle. 10 seconds here to go on the play clock. 25 here to go on the game clock. Royale backs up, throws the ball. Pass is complete to Calvin Perez. Perez is making something out of it. He's brought down at the 28-yard line, but it looks like a horse collar tackle, and that is a flag on the field. Perez picked up the first down. Let's see exactly what the official call is, but Perez looked like he was pulled down from the back because Perez could have turned that into a touchdown.
He certainly could have, and you have to protect the players, and you have to be smart. You can't do horse collar, tackles, just for the safety. But to highlight that play, the confidence in JoJo Royal to kind of be confident in that pocket, to know that his offensive line is going to protect him. Oh, wow.
It looks like they're saying there is no foul on the play.
Wow.
They're saying there is no foul. Listen, it looked like it could have been a horse collar tackle. He could have very well had the middle of his jersey and grabbed him down, and it looked legal. It was very fast. There's also that potential. Strenfield not calling a timeout, but JoJo Royale is going to just clock that one, and we're going to stop the clock at 8 seconds. Doesn't look like we have Juan Twiggy coming out here to do a kick just yet. I don't see number 99 out on the field, no. In fact, Strenfield looking back behind him, but still talking with JoJo Royal. And he's going to drum up a play. Ball is on the 30-yard line. 8 seconds to go here before we get into halftime. Middletown up 26-7. Huge 19-point lead. Here comes JoJo Royale into the huddle. Pine Bush defense looks ready. Middletown's going to be in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers, 2 stretch out to either side. Working from the right hash. Royale throws it downfield. It's in the end zone for Blackman, and Blackman incomplete. Just couldn't make it. Blackman had to turn around. He's looking at the ref like he wanted a defensive pass interference. But that is going to be a no-go on either the catch or the DPI. Still 3 seconds left to go on the clock. And I'm pretty sure that Strenfield, who just called his final timeout of the half, it looks like he's going to drum up a play and go for it on this one, Norris.
This is what you want to see in Middletown football. A coach that's not that's not afraid to to oppose his will on a defending team. It doesn't matter what's at stake here. He wants to show that he's here, and he wants to put a score on the board before they close out this half. I definitely think he wants to do this to be ahead enough to, again, kind of give these the secondary guys a little bit of burn. We don't know if they go that route, we don't know who's the quarterback that's going to come in. We don't know who their secondary guys, people that are going to come in. But I definitely think that that's something that they want to explore going to the second half.
Definitely what you want to look into going into the second half for the Middies, coming out in the second half, when you have the ball. I feel like the world is their oyster, especially Norris. 3 seconds on the clock. They could get a play downfield, potentially get into the end zone. Let's just say hypothetically that they do get this touchdown here on this play, which no doubt is what you're going for. That's why you take your final timeout. I mean, that puts them in a position to just kind of coast and do whatever they want coming up in the second half. Here we go. Final play of the first half. JoJo Royale out of shotgun, steps up. He's going to throw it downfield, but not into the end zone. And it is caught. Pass is complete, but it's way short of the end zone. That was complete to Michael Culver. Ball's going to be down at the 12-yard line. Excellent pass and excellent catch, but just not what Middletown needed to get into the end zone. That's going to end the first half of play for us. 26-7, Middletown over Pine Bush. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about some scores of games going on right now in the rest of Section 9 and talk about our second half keys to the game. You're listening to Middletown Football on Wall Radio, brought to you by the Orange County Stop DWI and Traffic Safety Program.
So, Benjamin, what seems to be the problem?
I need you to unhinge my jaw.
I'm sorry, uncinch your bra?
No, I need you to unhinge my jaw.
He had one of those deliciously huge deli sandwiches from Shortstop Deli on East Main Street in Middletown.
Oh, unhinge your jaw. Got it, okay. Those are tasty.
Got a huge hunger? You need Shortstop Deli, open every day, 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. Everything is served fast and fresh by Russ and the gang. Shortstop Deli, Shutt Road and East Main in Middletown.
Hey, it's me, Mark Bulger, and the weekend is almost here, and my show's coming up Saturday and Sunday afternoon. Don't miss me right after the Joe Daly Show here on Wall Radio. Tell you about what's happening here in the Hudson Valley, and we'll bring the fun big time with the Hudson Valley's greatest hits. I'll catch you here this weekend on Wall Radio.
Mid-City Transit is a proud supporter of the Middletown High School football team, and right now they're looking for drivers to join their team. To apply today, visit midcitytransit.com. Since 1935, Mid-City Transit has been transporting the children of the Middletown School District, always committed to providing those children with a safe, reliable bus service. Mid-City Transit is also available for charters, wedding shuttles, family reunions, and trips. Everyone at Mid-City Transit wishes the Middletown High School football team good luck this season. Go Middies!
While the hunters are trying every trick of the book to bag a six-pointer, the rest of us have no trouble at all finding deer. No need to hunt for a repair shop. 86 Auto World has you covered with repairs and oil changes to windshields and, yes, body work. If they find another repair is needed, they tell you, not upsell you. 86 Auto World takes pride in honest quality repairs and service. If you're looking to find a repair shop you can trust, it's 86 Auto World, 86 East Main Street, Middletown, and 86autoworld.com.
This is Middletown High School football on Wall Radio.
Back to halftime here at Fowler Field, Middletown football on Wall Radio. DJ McPherson alongside Norris Gibson. Jeff Anderson is with us in our Wall studio. And so far in the first half, it has been complete domination by Middletown. No shutout first half this time around. 26-7. The Middy Bears have the commanding lead of 19 points over the Pine Bush Bushmen here on the first home playoff game and the first fall season chance at a title since 1994. Not excluding the 2020 title, what they won in the spring season, the shortened spring season. But here we are today. Middies are up 26-7, bringing Norris Gibson. Norris, let's break down the first half there. Let's talk about defensively, which is how they started the game on the ball. What was Middletown really doing right early on in this game that set the tone for them?
You know, I really believe that they were at the right place at the right time. You know, they were staying home. They weren't getting too edgy. You know, they were kind of like they were just right where they needed to be. You know, the defensive line was getting excellent pressure. Their defensive backs and their DBs, they were doing a really great job of kind of making sure that they were right. You know, all flying to the ball when the ball was either thrown or the ball was ran. You know, everyone was swarming the ball, and I think that's what they need to continue to do, you know, going into this next half of the game if they want to maintain success.
Definitely. Defensively, that's a big key to their game. We saw big plays made. Of course, first touchdown of the game was a defensive one, not just for the Middies, but period of the game. Michael Culver took that back over 55 yards. That was a huge play for them. And then from there, let's talk about the offensive side. It's been Jelani Graham. Just time after time after time. Jelani Graham with 3 touchdowns in the first half. All of them within 10 yards, too, of each other. I mean, you know, Jelani Graham, what can you say about, like, just the way he attacks the defensive line? He's wearing them down. You know, you talked about guys getting rest going into next week, if that's what we're looking at. Of course, there's still a second half to play, but with this lead, rest assured Middletown is focused on finishing this game with a win. But let's talk about it. Next week, if we go into that thing with the win, if we go into that game with a win, Section 9 championship, you know, with his performance so far, do you see Jelani Graham kind of taking a step back in the second half? Maybe after a strong third quarter, we just start to see him take a lot of do some resting on the sideline and let the backup get the reps.
You know, if I was the coach, you know, that would be my strategy. You know, I definitely want to gain as much of a lead as I can, just because he's having such a great game. I don't want to diminish that. I wouldn't want to diminish that for him. So I would kind of play him, you know, see how well he does in the third quarter. But definitely, you know, I'd be having him maybe if we needed to in the fourth quarter, maybe go in and take a rep or two. But definitely a lot of resting within the fourth quarter if you have a large lead as though you do now.
Definitely something you want to, you know, think about resting maybe more than one guy. You know, he talks about it off air and even on air. This could be a good chance for number 8 to come out there in the second half if Middletown comes out and puts up a quick score. Just to remind everybody listening, Middletown gets the ball to start the second half. Up with the 19-point lead, they get the ball to start the second half, so that's going to be pretty incredible in and of itself. So let's look out for that. Right now, we're under 10 minutes to go before we get the second half started. You see a lot of the Pop Warner and JV guys down on the field just getting some reps and having a good time. Still got a good crowd out here as far as the Middletown side goes. It's a playoff game. It's still, you know, I said it before, it doesn't feel like the playoff atmosphere in Norris. I mean, do you feel like a lot of the fans, the family guys out here, you know, and all of the students, they must know that this was going to be a game that Middletown should take.
100%, you know, but that's the confidence that they have within their team, within the city. You know, you're going into this year 7-1 right now, going into this game. You know, you kind of have confidence like, oh, we spanked them before, you know, this should kind of really just be a no-brainer that they're going to do a good job. So maybe that could be a reason as to why the seats aren't, the stands aren't fully packed. But there's still a good amount of people there. There's also probably some people at the snack section,
right,
looking at to kind of get their food in them before the game gets started again. But you know, for the most part, you know, we've seen Middletown do a really great job of showing their support. You know, I remember seeing on Instagram at some point throughout the season that this place was literally electric. You know, lights were going, the atmosphere. I mean, I really love that addition that they added this year. The lights, you know, changing with the field, and whenever they score touchdowns, you know, playing it consistent with the music. That is kind of adding to that, you know, build-up of the morale here that's really needed from a stadium, especially one as high-tech as this one.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's what you want to see coming from a high school game.
And I'll tell you what, Kevin Gleason, if you hear this next year, we want to see that elevator. Help your boy out. Listen, I got here, it was a little tight on time. You know, we're coming out of work and the traffic, and, man, I ran up those steps and took me a couple of minutes before I can speak a full sentence. I'll tell you that much. So, but no, still beautiful facilities here at Fowler. They are the class of the Hudson Valley when it comes to their facilities. But we're going to take a quick break. We only got a few minutes to go before the players get out here, start getting stretched up, start stretching out, getting warmed up, and we get to our second half action. You're listening to Middletown Football on Wall Radio, brought to you by the Orange County Stop DWI and Traffic Safety Program.
Driving while impaired has serious consequences. In 2021, 10,147 alcohol and drug-related crashes occurred, while more than 9 people per day were arrested for impaired driving in New York State. If you feel different, you drive different. Before you go out, always have a plan to get home safe. A message brought to you by Orange County Stop DWI and Traffic Safety Program and New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Paid for by ADAC through Stop DWI.
Great service, great staff, great reputation. That's Steve Dodd Plumbing and Heating, working hard to maintain that reputation they've built over the years. The Steve Dodd team is your go-to for exceptional service and maintenance of heating systems, water heaters, and water pumps. Their experienced, licensed, and insured professionals are here for you for simple repairs to full renovations. Call 845-386-2217 and have your heating system checked for the season. Steve Dodd Plumbing and Heating. Call today.
Hello there, Joe Daly here, inviting you to start your weekend mornings with me. We'll have all the latest news, Mike Spiel's forecast from the Weather Tower, Charlie North with Charlie's Chuckles, the Trivia Challenge, weekend happenings, and of course, the Hudson Valley's greatest hits. Join me every Saturday and Sunday morning from 8 until 12 noon, right here on the weekend morning show that sleeps in on the Hudson Valley's hometown station.
Time to get back to the action. It's Middies football on Wall Radio.
Back to Middletown football here on Wall Radio. We're just over 5 minutes to go before we get to the second half action of our home playoff game here at Fowler Field, where your Middie Bears are leading the charge 26-7 over the Pine Bush Bushmen. And as just as I say that, I look to my left out here where there's a few more Pine Bush fans than I thought here at Fowler, and they were just kind of giving a great ovation to their Bushmen who have come out of the tunnel, and they're going to start to get stretched out and warmed up. And Middletown is going to be out here in just a few minutes. But just before we get going, guys, do not forget, you are listening to the greatest hits for Orange County and the Hudson Valley. This is Wall Radio. We do it all week long, and all week long you can listen to Kate Brandon in the morning. You can listen to us right now, 94.1, 105.7, 106.3, or just check us out on the Wall Radio app. You could go online, wallradio.com. And, guys, you know, we talk about our great sponsors so much throughout the game. And if you want to be a part of our family of sponsors here at Wall Radio, whether it be for Middletown football or Kate Brandon in the morning, or anytime throughout the week, listening to the great hits of the Hudson Valley, just hit us up, guys. Check us out, wallradio.com, neversinkmedia.com. Look us up. We want to have you spotlighted here. You are a part of our community, and we love to have all of our great community sponsors be a part of what we do here at Wall Radio. Now, moving back into this game, second half action is a few minutes away from getting started. First half, Middletown completely dominated, specifically Jelani Graham dominating with 3 touchdowns for 4, 7, and 8 yards respectively. And of course, the big pick six, that was really what started the game early on in the game. Just after 90 seconds into the game, that was Michael Culver going from right to left, taking that bad boy to the house. That gives us the score of 26-7. In other news, out-of-town scoreboard, don't forget, guys, Cornwall and Warwick are in action right now. Cornwall leads 18-0 at halftime. And Port Jervis leads Highland 14-3. Highland, after the 27-yard field goal, not much going on offense. Port Jervis is up 14-3. That was when there was just under 7 minutes to go left in the second quarter. We'll wait for another update from Kevin Halpenny or Tom Fagione there doing the game, of course, alongside Ethan McElroy. It's a 3-man booth over at WDLC. And don't forget about our last game. We have Delaware Valley football. Check us out, Neversink Media. Listen to any and all of our stations. We got a trifecta going on tonight. We got a triple header here for Neversink Media Sports. But we're right here with you, DJ McPherson, Norris Gibson, here at Fowler Field, a couple minutes away before we get the second half started, where Middletown is going to receive the ball. They're going to start with the ball on offense. Norris, let's get back into this game a little bit here. You know, we talked about what they did early on to dominate in the first half. You know, we talked about potentially what could happen in the second half. And it looks like with Pine Bush waiting on the sidelines, they're warmed up, and the cheerleaders are starting to clap. I think we're going to have a grand second half entrance here by the team, it looks like. I like the looks, and there it is.
Lights are going.
Here come the lights. To give you a little feel, and you can hear it going on right there as they run out of the tunnel. A grand second half entrance. Excellent job there. The lights are going, Norris, as you talked about. It really just sets the atmosphere out here at Fowler Field. I love this.
I wish I had this when we were playing.
Really? I say it all the time. Wish I had the nice cushy feel, the logo out on the field. It's great. I mean, we had real grass.
Yeah, I mean, I was blessed to play on this turf. Not the same, markings and stuff, but the AstroTurf we definitely had. Not the wonderful scoreboard. We still had the other scoreboard.
Right.
The scoreboard is beautiful. Looks like they upgraded the lights because I know they weren't doing that when I was here.
No, they weren't doing any of the stuff. And like I said, I think we had that same scoreboard the scoreboard was down there, but they put it over there. It was the same scoreboard when you played. But this was definitely grass, and God help us if it rained. This did not have the great drainage that we see today. This thing could be muddy real quick. The last Bell game that I played in against Port Jervis was here, and man, that was the Mud Bowl. that jersey. It was.
Were you guys still Thanksgiving?
What's that?
Were you guys Thanksgiving back then?
No, we didn't. No.
I'm saying back then like it was.
No, it was. Listen, it was back then. For me, it was back then. It was definitely back then. There's kids out here that were years away from being born the last time I suited up for Middletown football. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
But no, still a great time being a part of this, being a son of Middletown, New York, and just coming back here week after week to have fun. You love it. You love the atmosphere.
Absolutely.
And it looks like we got a fresh set of 12 on the board, And Middletown has now broken the huddle. They're coming to the sideline, and they are ready to start the second half. Look at the energy from these guys, though, Norris. Just look at that energy.
I'm looking at the blue lights in the crowd. That's nice to see, too.
Oh, yeah.
Very different, very original, unique.
Yeah, I like it. Coach Lichtenstein and his staff getting ready for the second half.
Is that Conklin?
Was that was Conklin behind him? Yeah, that was Coach Conklin, Coach Lichtenstein. Coach Conklin, shout out to Coach Conklin. He lost 80 pounds.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, Coach Conklin. So it may not be easy to recognize if you're out there, Coach Conklin. Congrats to you, Coach, dropping 80 pounds. He inspires me. He gives me hope. Of course, we got the phys ed teacher, I believe, up here in the booth as well. We got to get some help out here. I got to get some help. Here we go as we start the second half. 26-7, your Middies with a great lead, and they are getting the ball to start. Here comes Pine Bush with another squib kick. That one going into the hands of Elijah Georges, I believe, and Georges gets past midfield. Ball is out on the field. It's fumbled, and here they come. Pine Bush has it. Pine Bush has the ball on the 38-yard line. And yes, they're declaring it for the Bushmen. And, man, what a unfortunate turn of events there. That was a great return going for the Middies, and it just popped out of his hands. No, that was not Elijah Georges. Excuse me. That was that was number 20. That was Joe Mann. Joe Mann, just the ball came out of his hands as he was running, got across midfield, and Mann couldn't hold on to it, lost it, and Pine Bush has the ball on the 39-yard line. 1st and 10, 11:51 here to go, only 9 seconds in to the second half. Tristan Santos, under center, calling out the plays, and he's going to turn around and hand it off, and man, quickly And he's held up by that Middies defense. They're going to blow the whistle after just a gain of 1 yard. It's going to be 2nd and 9 for the Bushmen.
Yeah, as soon as he broke the line of scrimmage, he was met by like a swarm of Middie Bears.
It was all
to kind
blue.
of stand him right up and drive him back.
All blue.
Stuffed.
Caden Blackman was in on that one. 2nd and 9, here we go. The Bushmen, after the fumble on the kickoff, are starting the second half. First and second half with the ball here. It's going to be a handoff going around the corner. That was for Plexico Brooks, and Brooks gets nothing as he's brought down. It looks like just behind the line of scrimmage. No, did Plexico turn something up? Nope. It's a no gain from where the referee is standing. It looks like it was just a no gain. So that's going to be 3rd and 9. No gain there for Brooks. You know, I've said it a couple of times in this game, Norris. Plexico Brooks, they're a huge playmaker, but just hasn't really made many plays. Middletown doing an excellent job of keeping him at bay. A couple of weeks ago, Plexico broke some big plays and got into the end zone. Santos out of the shotgun this time. Santos is under pressure. He's looking to run it himself, but he gets nothing. And, of course, it's Stephen Moncherry meeting him right there with the sack. And that's going to be a loss of 4 yards. It's going to bring up 4th and 13 here for the Bushmen. And there goes the punt unit. And after just 2 minutes of having the ball, after a huge turnover, getting that fumble away, getting the fumble away from, it was Joe Mann there on the kickoff return. Pine Bush is already going to give the ball back.
Great job by big Stephen Moncherey on the solo tackle. I would not want to be tackled by him.
No. And it looks like he got him quick and hard on that one. Met him right there in the chest. And that is a nice long kick there for Pine Bush. That one's going to be fielded by Georges. Georges takes it to the outside. He's beyond the 50-yard line and gets good position into the territory of the Bushmen. Ball is going to be fielded down at the 36-yard line, 37. Great job on a 20-plus yard return by Elijah Georges. Georges doing all that he can to make plays here after the unfortunate fumble there on the punt return.
Yeah, 100%. You know, he's doing his best, but he is, you know, he's doing a really good job making up for, you know, that mistake that he happened early on. He had that really big catch towards the end of the first quarter. You know, now he's making up now for really good returns.
But that was a flag, it looks like, just as I was finishing my statement there. That was a flag on Josh Simon. It looked like it might have been a illegal block or a holding penalty. That's going to bring them back for extra long here. Going to bring them all the way back to the 30-yard line.
Spot of the foul.
Spot of the foul, and it's going to be a 1st and 10. Here come the Middies, turn around, hands it off to Jelani Graham. Graham only picks up about a yard. It's a 2-yard gain officially. 2nd and 8 here for the Middie Bears. Ball on the 32-yard line.
Just a half a step away from getting at least another 7 yards on that carry.
Always.
But that shoeless tackle sometimes gets the best of even the best runners.
Port Jervis doing some work there. 41-3 now at this point. And here comes Jelani Graham. Jelani Graham going to the outside. It looks like there was a play fake there. Fooled everybody. Jelani Graham picks it up. He's at the 40, the 30. Still going. Gets away from a few defenders. Gets away from another man. 5, touchdown. Middie Bears. Jelani Graham taking it all the way. 65-plus yards. Big touchdown by Jelani Graham. His 4th of the game. 32-7 as we line up for the Mid-City Transit extra point.
Wow, that was a pretty impressive run there.
Very impressive.
I mean, he went through they actually tricked me on the reversal there to kind of bounce back out and you know, pass the ball to him. And
everybody was tricked.
Right.
Jelani Graham went to the outside on that, Norris, to explain it to our listeners. He bounced to the outside and looked back as if he was waiting for the pass to trick the defense, who all went inside, and Graham just took off there. Only a few downfield defenders. He got away from their tackles and gets into the end zone. And it looks like not the Mid-City Transit extra point, Mid-City Transit 2-point conversion here we're going for. Man in motion. Royal under center. Passes it to the left. Has him. And it's a 2-point completion. Excellent job. I believe that was Jelani Graham again. No, that was Bryson Tibbs there. Excellent. Bryson Tibbs, the big tight end, getting that 2-point conversion. 34-7. Midi Bears on top. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Middletown Football on Wall Radio, brought to you by the Orange County Stop DWI and Traffic Safety Program.
WPDH HD2 HD4 Poughkeepsie.
Serving Ulster, Dutchess, and Orange counties.
This is the Hudson Valley's hometown station. WALL, Middletown, New York, USA. Time to get back to the action. It's Middies football on Wall Radio.
Back to Middletown football here on Wall Radio. DJ McPherson alongside Norris, Gibson, and Mann. And this first home playoff game for the Middies, they are showing out in great fashion. 34-7 over Pine Bush after we just had another touchdown run, the fourth of the game by Jelani Graham, but Graham taking this one over 60 yards to the house. Man, you can't say enough. And that came on the heels of what would have been their first drive, the fumble by Joe Mann on the kickoff return as Middletown kicks it downfield. Gets a good bounce, is going to be fielded at the 10, gets back to the 25, the 30. And, man, the Bushmen with some good kick returns in this game so far. But as I was saying, after Joe Mann fumbled there on the opening half kickoff, Middletown quickly got the ball back after putting the Pine Bush offense on their heels, getting the ball back, coming back after a penalty too, and Jelani Graham just took that one all the way, doing what he does even in short yardage situations, Norris, just bouncing guys off of him the whole way.
Yeah, 100%. You know, I knew that he was going to be a very special runner even last season. You know, just his ability to bounce off of people, and him and McKinney last year, they were just a tandem. So I knew that he was going to be very special for the Middletown defense.
And out of the shotgun, Santos is going to try to hand it off. This one to Emmanuel Hannon. Hannon gets nothing going. In fact, Hannon loses 2 yards on the play. Going to bring up 2nd and 12 here for the Bushmen. And the ball is placed down on the 32-yard line. And Pine Bush, coached by Rich Ormsby, the former OC here for Middletown, you know, earlier this year, he was back here for the first time on an opposite sideline since he was a coach here. And this is his second game back for the first home game of Middletown, something he helped build. Now looking at the unfortunate side of this. Santos in shotgun, but it looks like there was a flag. And no, it was a timeout. No flags on the field. Just a timeout there by Pine Bush. Let's take a quick one ourselves. You're listening to Middletown Football on Wall Radio, brought to you by the Orange County Stop DWI and Traffic Safety Program.
So, Benjamin, what seems to be the problem?
I need you to unhinge my jaw.
I'm sorry, uncinch your bra?
No, I need you to unhinge my jaw.
He had one of those deliciously huge deli sandwiches from Shortstop Deli on East Main Street in Middletown.
Oh, unhinge your jaw. Got it, okay. Those are tasty.
Got a huge hunger? You need Shortstop Deli, open every day, 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. Everything is served fast and fresh by Russ and the gang. Shortstop Deli, Shutt Road and East Main in Middletown.
Well, the car's shot. And what they want to charge for a new transmission, we might as well get a new car.
We'll have to 86 it.
I figure we can get something if we trade it in.
No, take it to 86 Auto World. They actually work on transmissions.
86 Auto World is your one-stop auto shop. From oil changes and repairs to tires and body work, they've got you covered. 86 Auto World, 86 East Main Street, Middletown, and at 86autoworld.com.
This is Middletown High School football on Wall Radio.
Back to Middletown football here on Wall Radio. DJ McPherson alongside Norris Gibson. 34-7, Middletown is just dominating this game over Pine Bush out of the timeout. Santos was in the shotgun. He's going to try to hand that off to Plexico Brooks, who came in motion across the field, quickly brought down by that Middies defense. They stay at home. They know the assignment, Norris.
Yeah, Giuliani Graham in on that stop as well. He's really been playing a really great game on both sides of the ball. You know, he's had the amount of touchdowns that he's had. He's been involved a lot, you know, frequently on the defense. You know, so he's still a young person in the Middletown system. He's only a sophomore, so he's got still quite a few years to mature in the program.
Scary.
Get better, and to see how good he is now is, like you just said, it is scary.
Scary, 6'1". He might even put on another inch or two before he gets out of here. Santos in shotgun, 4 wide receiver. Santos looking, he has a man in his face. Pass in and out of the hands, incomplete. Going for that one, that was Logan Howley on the receiving end, or excuse me, that he was targeting there. Howley just went right through his fingers. 4th and 13, 6:50 here in the third quarter, and here comes the punt unit again. Elijah Georges, we see him back there along with Caden Blackman. Georges making some plays here, he's had his name called out quite a few times today. Somebody who I said, too, before we got started, watch out for Georges. He's going to get a few plays his way, and Georges has looked good out here. You know, he had the one fumble, but everything else he's done, he's looked very good. As Pine Bush lines up for the punt. Let's see how they get this one off. It's a high and a long kick. George is going to let this one go. It gets a favorable bounce for the Bushmen, and the official position is going to be at the 35-yard line. Let's call it. It's right next to it. Tucked on the 35-yard line. This is where the Midi Bears are going to start, working from left to right, going towards MHS. Ball is going to be placed on the right hash, and here comes JoJo Royal. If Middletown could put up a score, run the clock down and put up a score on this drive, I guarantee you we're going to see Sierra DeGiorgio start to get warmed up there on the sideline. And we'll start to see a few more subs come in and just finish out this great game. What could potentially be a great victory here for Middletown. JoJo Royale, only one man stretched out. Culver in motion. He's under center. They're going to turn around and hand it off to Jelani Graham. Jelani Graham picks up the first down. Man, it looked like he was about to go at it again, Norris. It looked like he was about to do it again for another 60-plus yard touchdown. But Jelani Graham just picks up the first down, an 11-yard gain for number 15. And the Middies just move the chains. They're just moving them easily now at this point.
You know, I was just thinking about how much of a complete team this has been, and this has been showing to me this season. Like last year, we always saw like, oh, they were only like a one-half team. They're only a first-quarter team. Sometimes they would come back late in the second half, but to see them still keep on churning in this portion, second half of the game is really great to see.
JoJo Royale under center. He's going to pass it. Play action this time. It's up, and it is complete. Pass is complete. Ball is down at the 20-yard line. Great play action pass by JoJo Royale, and Middletown is not done yet. Forget just running the clock down. Look at these guys just getting it done, and that was Elijah Georges. Man, I'm glad I told you before off air, watch out for Georges. He's a guy who makes plays, making great plays. Middletown quickly gets back to the line. They want to do it again. 1st and 10, ball's on the 20-yard line. Turns around, hands it off to Graham. Graham is inside the 10, 5, touchdown, Midi Bears. And they're just pouring it on at this point, 40-7, as we line up for the Mid-City Transit extra point.
And he does it again. Giuliani Graham in for the score. I actually thought that Middletown would have actually kind of churned and try to eat some time off the clock, but they just want to put some points on the board. They want to send a statement message to the teams next week, and maybe they just want to get their secondary in to kind of give some of their main starters a rest a little bit. You know, I think that would come with the strategy going into this later portion of the game.
5 touchdowns for number 15, Jelani Graham, as we line up for the Mid-City Transit extra point, which the kick is up, and it is good. 41-7, 5:41 here to go in the third quarter of our first home playoff game at Fowler. Let's take a break here. You're listening to Middletown Football on Wall Radio, brought to you by the Orange County Stop DWI and Traffic Safety Program.
Mid-City Transit is a proud supporter of the Middletown High School football team. And right now, they're looking for drivers to join their team. To apply today, visit midcitytransit.com. Since 1935, Mid-City Transit has been transporting the children of the Middletown School District, always committed to providing those children with a safe and reliable bus service. Mid-City Transit is also available for charters, wedding shuttles, family reunions, and trips. Everyone at Mid-City Transit wishes the Middletown High School football team good luck this season. Go Middies!
This is Middletown High School football on Wall Radio.
Back to Middletown football here on Wall Radio. And it is just a rocking house now. 41-7, the Middies have a great lead with another touchdown, the fifth one of the game by Jelani Graham as we kick it off. And that is going to be fielded at about the 20-yard line by the Bushman. That is Emmanuel Hannon. Hannon getting a pretty good return out of that one, getting down to the 35, 15-yard return. Bushman take over. But Norris, another touchdown, 5 in the game for Jelani Graham. I mean, listen, just give him the ball and it's beast mode time. There's nothing he can't do today.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing everything that you could ask for in a player, shedding blocks, putting the team on his back, giving them the confidence that they need, going into a playoff series run. And, he's doing everything that he can to make sure that the Middies have success.
Santos, coming from under center, hands it off to Emmanuel Hannon. No, excuse me, that was Plexico Brooks. It is hard. It is very hard with the same name, and then he's Brooks, he's Burris, Plexico Brooks. I think I called him Burris twice the last game.
I had a feeling that was going to happen at some point.
Oh, yeah.
I thought about it several times.
How could you not? If I said Plexico B, and then, you automatically say Burris. Right. But Plexico Brooks on that. Gets just 1 yard out of it. It's going to be 2nd and 9 here for the Bushmen. Santos under center again, only one wide receiver, and it's Plexico in motion. Plexico bounces to the outside. Middletown just sticks with him. He only gets back to the line of scrimmage there. No gain for Plexico, for Brooks.
This is such a strong defense Middletown has this year, and I know special teams win games, but defenses win games as well. And, if this is how they've been playing all season long, I could see why they have the record that they do. And I'm just excited just to be here to see this version of Middie football. We saw glimpses of it last season, but for them to kind of put it together in such a complete fashion is really wonderful to see.
Complete turnaround, Norris, from what we witnessed last year. And here comes another handoff. This one, I believe that was to Hannon. Hannon doesn't get anything. This time going to the left side. Hannon only picks up about a yard. It's going to be 4th and 7. Oh, no, excuse me, 4th and 8. And it looks like they're deliberating on sending out the punt unit. No, we have a player down. It looks like it's Emmanuel Hannon. Let's take a quick break. We hope for his safety. We'll get right back to you. You're listening to Middletown Football on Wall Radio, brought to you by the Orange County Stop DWI and Traffic Safety Program.
Great service, great staff, great reputation. That's Steve Dodd Plumbing and Heating, working hard to maintain that reputation they've built over the years. The Steve Dodd team is your go-to for exceptional service and maintenance of heating systems, water heaters, and water pumps. Their experienced, licensed, and insured professionals are here for you for simple repairs to full renovations. Call 845-386-2217 and have your heating system checked for the season. Steve Dodd Plumbing and Heating. Call today.
Mid-City Transit is a proud supporter of the Middletown High School football team, and right now they're looking for drivers to join their team. To apply today, visit midcitytransit.com. Since 1935, Mid-City Transit has been transporting the children of the Middletown School District, always committed to providing those children with a safe, reliable bus service. Mid-City Transit is also available for charters, wedding shuttles, family reunions, and trips. Everyone at Mid-City Transit wishes the Middletown High School football team good luck this season. Go Middies!
Time to get back to the action. It's Middies football on Wall Radio.
Back to Middletown football here on Wall Radio. Unfortunately, it looks like Emmanuel Hannon is still down on the field. They're actually just getting him up, and we are very thankful for that. A lot of lookers on feeling concerned about Emmanuel Hannon, but while he's getting up and they are attending to him and getting him off safely, there he is. He's actually up on his feet now, and he is running off the field, jogging off. A good round of applause from everybody here at the stadium. We wish you the best. Hannon, hopefully he gets back in the game. And here comes the official special team switch. It's going to be 4th down and 8, 4 minutes to go. The clock is winding here in the third quarter on the Hudson Valley's hometown station, Wall Radio, here at Fowler Field. 41-7, the Middie Bears have this just a stranglehold. I don't even know how to say it. Just a stranglehold on the Bushmen right now as they get the punt up and off. And here comes our guy, Elijah Georges. Georges gets it at the 31. Georges gets it to the 45, jumps over a defender. Georges is putting on a show today. I'm glad I talked him up before the game.
He went airborne for a second. I'm glad he came down safely. It's always scary when guys go up like that. You don't know which way they're going to land, how they're going to get hit on the way down. So I'm glad he made it down safe.
George is doing an excellent job here today. He's been doing a great job returning kicks. He's made some plays on offense. You got to have that short memory. After you make a bad play, you throw an interception, you miss a tackle, you drop the football, you got to come back and just keep on making plays. Credit to you, Elijah Georges. And this time it's going to be Rudy Cherry. Cherry is going to take it out to way far to the left side, gets away from a defender who could have had him behind the line, and Cherry picks up about 4 yards on the play. Great job by Rudy Cherry moving it out there. Cherry was caught dead to rights behind the line of scrimmage there, Norris.
Yeah, he was able to push his blocker and the defender down in front of him. That kind of slowed down his momentum a little bit, but he was able to make something out of nothing and gain an extra 4 yards on that play to set his team up in good field position.
41-7. I mean, when you have a 30-plus point lead here, going into the fourth quarter, I don't know. Maybe we'll see number 8, Sierra DeGiorgio, but right now it's still JoJo Royale who turns around, hands it off, and, of course, that's the right thing to do. This one was Ramon Alexander taking that one for a first down, and Alexander picking it up. Ball's going to be down on the 39-yard line. They are now in Bushman territory. Man, another first down for the Middie Bears, running the clock down and running it. Even when Middletown wants to run the clock down, Norris, they just still make plays. They're just busting through the line to the second level.
I mean, you have to. You can only run it. You can only squeeze out so many plays, and then you get a third down, and then you want to. You got to keep on getting first downs if that's gonna be your strategy. And they've done a really excellent job of that this game.
Done an amazing job. One wide receiver out to the far sideline. It's a Rudy Cherry handoff there. They set up great blocking. Cherry gets to the outside and picks up a 9-yard gain. Close to the first down, and they are waving at the first down. The ref says move the chains. Nope, they did not say move the chains. I got that signal wrong.
We're pretty close to it.
I'm a little overzealous up here. I just think everything's a first down. I'm not too far off.
You weren't too far off.
But it is close to the first down. I was right on the first one. Close to the first down. It's going to be a 2nd and 1. Ball's officially down on the 28. Here come the Middie Bears. Bryson Tibbs in motion. And JoJo's going to throw again. The pass is incomplete. Intended for Rudy Cherry, trying to throw to his right side there across the field. 3rd and 2. It's 1:06 here to go. You're up 41-7. I mean, some might say that was definitely a time to just call for a run up the middle. Something that hasn't failed them yet.
I think that Middletown is really trying to utilize number 24, Cherry, just to try to see what he's capable of. They have Giuliani Graham, but to see him coming now to kind of get him some burn and some different types of plays is really good to see too.
And again, it's just a turnaround handoff up the middle. It looks like that was Calvin Perez. And yes, it was. And Perez gets the first down for the Middies. It's a three-yard gain there. Ball's going to be on the 29-yard line. And it's another first down for the Midi Bears. We are under a minute to go before we get to the fourth and final quarter. Middletown taking care of business today with 6 touchdowns on the board, 5 of them coming from Jelani Graham, who seems to be getting a breather here on the sideline finally. And that was a fake option run. JoJo Royale takes that one up the middle. Gets a couple of yards out of that play.
And, Calvin Perez has really been quietly, responsible for a couple big plays. He just had a big first down just a play ago. He also had another first down a few drives ago. So he's been someone who's been quietly, been instrumental in getting Middletown in good field position, having them maintain in good field position. So it's players like that don't necessarily get recognized throughout the full course of a game, but still have those impactful plays throughout the game that still keep Middletown where they're at. So kudos to him.
There's a lot of glue guys on this team too. Guys who just impactful players who aren't really the stars, but you're absolutely right. Glue guys. I mean, if there's one name we can say is a glue guy, it's Elijah Georges. He's not the star on offense, but he's made some great offensive plays. He's primarily a special teams player, but he's used that opportunity on special teams, as you've seen today, to really do his job, get great field position for this offense. Yes, he had the fumble that we talked about, but he has rebounded immensely from that. He almost had the touchdown had he not stepped out of bounds. Elijah Georges he's had himself outside of Jelani Graham. Elijah Georges has had one heck of a game tonight.
Certainly. He's definitely surprised me on many plays, especially on special teams. He's had a really great opportunity to shine tonight. The ball has been bouncing in his favor and going in his direction, allowing him to have that type of time. But definitely, when he gets the opportunity, he's going to make the most of it. He saw that, he did have his hiccup, but, he's made up for it 10 times over in the game.
Definitely, and that is going to take us. We just had a player down on the field, got up quickly, but that took us to we ran off the rest of the clock, end of the third quarter as we go into the fourth and final quarter. It's 41-7. Your Midi Bears with the commanding lead, looking to close this thing out and move on to the Section 9 championship next week. We'll take a quick break. You're listening to Middletown Football on Wall Radio, brought to you by the Orange County Stop DWI and Traffic Safety Program.
So, Benjamin, what seems to be the problem?
I need you to unhinge my jaw.
I'm sorry, uncinch your bra?
No, I need you to unhinge my jaw.
He had one of those deliciously huge deli sandwiches from Shortstop Deli on East Main Street in Middletown.
Oh, unhinge your jaw. Got it, okay. Those are tasty.
Got a huge hunger? You need Shortstop Deli, open every day, 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. Everything is served fast and fresh by Russ and the gang. Shortstop Deli, Shutt Road and East Main in Middletown.
Time to get back to the action. It's Middies football on Wall Radio.
Back to Middletown football here on Wall Radio. It is the start of the fourth and final quarter. Middies up 41-7. JoJo Royale under center, hands it off to Langlis. Langlis bounces out from the 20, and he drags a man for about 5 yards, and Langlis gets deep down into the red zone and about the 11-yard line. Ball's going to be down at the 11. That's a first down by Quentin Langlitz as we move back, as we come right back into action, and the Middies just take no time and fire off a play call there. And it looks like number 8, Sierra DeGiorgio, here to start the fourth quarter, is in the game. Sierra DeGiorgio making history last year, coming into the game, the first female to play quarterback in Section 9, and even to throw a pass, get a touchdown, all of that. DeGiorgio under center. She's going to throw the ball right down the middle, and it's in and out of the hands. In and out of the hands, almost complete to Bryson Tibbs. Incomplete in the back of the end zone. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10 for the Middies. You know, DeGiorgio, I talked about her improvement too. She's become a much better passer this year. She's gotten rid of that big wind that she did, you know, playing softball, and she's tightened it up really well.
Yeah, that was almost on a rope that she threw that pass in a very tight spiral. Good job to her.
Sierra DeGiorgio showing some poise in the pocket there too. Under center. DeGiorgio's going to turn around, hand this one off. Calvin Perez gets inside the 5, gets close to the end zone, but no dice. Still going to bring up a 3rd and short for the Middies. Ball's officially down at the 3-yard line. Middletown looking to punch this one in here and just get everybody some rest and coast this thing home after a huge victory.
Sorry about that, DJ. Middletown's just been doing whatever they wanted to do here tonight, you know, against this defense, both offensively and defensively. They just kind of, you know, had their way here against this Bushman team.
DeGiorgio getting everybody set at the line. 3rd and 2. Here comes Middletown, and it's Perez bouncing to the outside, going far left. And that wasn't Perez, excuse me, that was Jared Howell.
Yeah, the ref kind of missed that one. That could have been like a little bit of a face mask there.
It looked like Howell was wrapped up very awkwardly. Could have been a penalty. You're absolutely right. I was expecting something to come from that. It did not, and here comes the special teams unit. Juan Twiggy coming out there. Looks like we have the Mid-City Transit field goal kick coming up for 3 points. Middletown looking to put up 44-7 here. Go up 44-7 over the Bushmen. 9:50 to go. Clock is ticking down. The kick is up, and it is good. That's 44-7. Middletown still dominating here early in the 4th quarter. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Middletown Football on Wall Radio, brought to you by the Orange County Stop DWI and Traffic Safety Program.
While the hunters are trying every trick in the book to bag a 6-pointer, the rest of us have no trouble at all finding deer. No need to hunt for a repair shop. 86 Auto World has you covered with repairs and oil changes to windshields and, yes, body work. If they find another repair is needed, they tell you, not upsell you. 86 Auto World takes pride in honest quality repairs and service. If you're looking to find a repair shop you can trust, it's 86 Auto World, 86 East Main Street, Middletown, and 86autoworld.com.
This is Middletown High School football on Wall Radio.
Back to Middletown football here on Wall Radio with a score of 44-7. 9:44 to go here in the closeout quarter. Middletown just putting on as many points as possible there. That was Sierra DeGiorgio who led that last drive down to get the 3 points. As we are in our final quarter and Middletown looking to rest a lot more starters and be ready and healthy for next week for the Section 9 championship. Big booming kick way back by Twiggy. That one's going to be fielded by Plexico at the 4-yard line, and Brooks gets out to the 40, going to the 45, got away from a few tackles, a couple of men to beat. Twiggy's on top of him. He's at the 30 to 25, gets down to the 20-yard line. Wow, what a play there. What a great return by Plexico Brooks. And Brooks, he's a playmaker, and that time he certainly, what they say, get your bar. He got his bars off on special teams on that one.
Yeah, definitely. There is one area that Middletown can improve on is definitely the kickoff and kickoff return area.
Oh yeah.
You know, they kind of have to get a better job of securing in their lanes a little bit better because they've let off pretty good returns pretty much the entire game. So if that's one area they need to improve on, it's definitely that one.
Big area to improve on there. You know, it's an area of improvement for Middletown to defend, and it's something to improve off of for Pine Bush. Yeah, they could grow off of that. Here come the Bushmen. Tristan Santos still in at quarterback. This time he is under center, has a man in motion. They're going to run it far out to the right side. He has some blockers, gets inside the 10-yard line. Did he get the first down? And they're marking it, yes. It's going to be a 1st and goal here for the Bushmen. Wow, excellent run there. Excellent run there by the Bushmen, and making some plays, not going away. This is very reminiscent of the last game a few weeks ago. It was 34-14 to finish. We're at 44. Pine Bush looking to attack one more on, just showing them that they came to play no matter what the score is. Rich Ormsby has them playing till it's all zeros on the clock. Something no doubt he that kind of attitude and that edge that he got here at Middletown with Strenfield and his staff. And, man, what a big run, bouncing to the outside, to the left. He cuts back inside. That was a great job there. That was by Tyler Sheely. Sheely picking up a few yards, getting down to the 1.
That was a really big run. One of their more successful ones of the night. It's good to see the big men getting involved in that.
Excellent job there. You know, this Middletown defense, I know they put in a lot of their secondary guys, but this defense all game long, I mean, just a credit to them what they've been able to do, holding them to 7 points at this point, up until this point. It's Santos getting under center. Only one wide receiver stretched out here to the near sideline, going to turn around and run it. That's going to be a touchdown for the Bushmen. It's going to be 44-13 as they try for the Mid-City Transit extra point. But with 6:57 here on the clock, it just doesn't look like they're going to be catching up too much here to what Middletown has already done. An excellent performance here by the Midi Bears and this great coaching staff here as we just exchanged some fist bumps there with assistant head coach, special teams coach Jason Lichtenstein. As we got a little movement out here as we line up for the Mid-City Transit extra point. Pine Bush certainly taking their time on this one. Kick is low, but it is still good. 44-14. And still with a lead of 30 points, 6:57 here to go. Middletown is up. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Middletown Football on Wall Radio, brought to you by the Orange County Stop DWI and Traffic Safety Program.
Hey, it's me, Mark Bulger, and the weekend is almost here, and my show's coming up Saturday and Sunday afternoon. Don't miss me right after the Joe Daly Show here on Wall Radio. Tell you about what's happening here in the Hudson Valley, and we'll bring the fun big time with the Hudson Valley's greatest hits. I'll catch you here this weekend on Wall Radio.
This is Middletown High School football on Wall Radio.
Back to Middletown football here on Wall Radio after the Bushmen get their second touchdown of the game. It's 44-14, still down by 30 points as Middletown is lined up to receive the kickoff here from the Bushmen. And the cheerleaders are just rocking it out. The music is going. Sierra DeGiorgio is getting some reps in with the center. Backup center Damian Douglas there. Here comes the kick. It's another squib kick there by Pine Bush over the head of Elijah Georges, but it looks like Ramon Alexander comes down with that one. And that squib kick, it has been effective here against Middletown.
Yeah, they've been pretty much going, attempting that almost every attempt out here tonight, and it's been proven to be effective. They got a fumble, we got a fumble off of that earlier on in the game, and it's been effective to kind of having Middletown start behind the 30-yard line. But, again, when it comes back to Middletown, executing the plays that they need to, they've just been unstoppable. So that's it seems tonight, no matter where you start them at, Middletown is going to get a touchdown. They're going to do what they want to do. And, unfortunately for Pine Bush, it's just one of those nights for them.
Unfortunately, one of those nights for the Bushmen. Couldn't come on a worse night because you're in the playoffs. This is DeGiorgio under center. Giorgio's going to turn around and hand it off, and it looks like that's going to be the game plan for the rest of the night for the Middies. That run was by Joe Mann. Joe Mann is a name we're going to be calling for the rest of this game, along with Javion Roldan and a few other playmakers. We got Dane Goodman coming into the game. And I believe that is Jaden Fajon coming out. No, excuse me, not Jaden Fajon. That was Lance Bell coming out. Lance, a guy who was making plays last year, too, when we were together, Norris. A name we know very well. DeGiorgio turns around and hands it off again, and it's another strong run by the Middies. You know, it's just the strength of this line that keeps that running game so potent.
Yeah, this is actually looks like this could very well be their secondary O-line. I don't see Stephen Montre. I don't see Ramir Bradley.
No.
So I think that this is their twos that are out there right now that are still getting the job done, which is really great. That what you want to see, especially in playoffs. At this high of a level.
Yeah, there's number 70, Ramir Bradley down here, catching his breath along with the other guys on that line. DeGiorgio sending a man in motion, and she's going to hand it off, bounces out to the right side, gets to the first down marker. Does he get it? That was Javion Roldan. And Roldan, they're going to call it a first down, and that's a move the chains motion by the referee. Another first down, and that's exactly what Middletown needs right now. You're up by 30 points. You want everyone to stay safe for the rest of this game, so just continue to run the ball, but don't try anything crazy. If you could pick up the 4 yards, pick it up. If you see yourself getting the first down, get the first down and keep the clock going, but there's no need to come out here and try to make any special plays.
100%. This is just a time right now to kind of ease out the clock. There's just over 4 minutes left, under 4 minutes left. Just burn the clock out, keep everybody healthy, keep everybody safe, keep the ball on the ground, and just walk out with the win.
Something that Middletown intends to do at this point. And the ball is on the ground, and that was just a disconnection, miscommunication there between Sierra DeGiorgio and the running back in that situation, and they fumbled the ball. Ball was on the ground. It happened so fast there, and it's going to be a first down for the Bushmen with 3:40 to go. That ball is going to be placed on the 33-yard line. Still down by 30, no chance of making this comeback happen, but looks like the Bushmen want to try to put a little bit more on this scoreboard. Speaking of scoreboard, we got the out-of-town scoreboard right now. Port Jervis really pouring it on. It is 53-3. Doing an excellent job over Highland. And the Delaware Valley game has already started. Jake Graziano on the call with that one. 6:20 to go in the first quarter. That was the latest report, 21-0 DV. Excellent job there by all of our Neversink media affiliates. And it looks like it was a downfield pass there. Santos went downfield for Luke Broadbelt. Broadbelt, it looks like there was some contact down there. Got a little wrapped up there with the Middies defender. No flags. Broadbelt gets up. Looks like he was holding his arm. That pass was incomplete. And it's going to be a 2nd and 10 here for the Bushmen. Under 3 minutes to go, 44-14. Middletown up in their first home playoff game. And just doing a great job of aiming to please for all the fans who were anxious to see this game here tonight. Santos turns around, hands it off. He's going wide out to the right side. Picks up quite a few yards, gets close to the first down. Does he get the first? And they are calling it a first down for the Bushmen.
Very patient on that run. It seems like he took his time. Not a full sprint, but he was allowing those blocks to develop in front of him. That's what you want to see out of your running back, just kind of allowing the plays to kind of work out its way so that way he can kind of creep in and hopefully break another run. But again, the Middletown defense was right there, like they have been all night long, to stop a big play.
Class A semifinal news: Cornwall leads Warwick 46-6. Cornwall, the defending state champs, so that should be very interesting. And Pine Bush with a big run this time, sweeping to the left side, picks up a few yards on that one. I believe that was Luciano Rubino on that one. Rubino getting a 3-yard gain on that. It's going to be 2nd and 7. Bushmen still doing all that they can. We're under 90 seconds to go before we close out this game. Middies up 44-14. Excellent job and an excellent game today for the Midi Bears. Santos under center, turns around, hands it off again. It tries to get close to the first down. No dice.
Kind of pushed out of bounds there. Middletown defense met him and rode him right out of bounds. Middletown's defense has just been playing lights out. We got just under 50 seconds left in the game. Both sides have played tremendous football all night long.
And Pine Bush has done an excellent job of just toughing it out no matter what that score says. Santos again under center, turns around, hands it off, and he's charging up the line, gets to the second level. That's a first down here. It's going to bring up first and goal here for the Bushmen. Bushmen still have 2 timeouts here. We'll see if they want to use one and try to punch something in. 15 seconds to go here before we finish this game. Middies looking to keep the score at 30-point lead. And Santos is going to turn around and hands it off, and he gets inside the 5, and it's a touchdown there with 1 second to go for Pine Bush. And the Bushmen get 20 points on the board, 44-20. And no, they're going to run that last second off the clock. And Plexico Brooks gets into the end zone. Are we calling the game over? Yes, we are. It's going to finish, and that is going to finish the game. No need for the extra point. 44-20. Middletown takes it. It is the first home playoff game here for the Middies at Fowler Field. And next week, we are going to play for the first time since 1994 for a fall championship here at home for the Section 9 title. We're going to wrap up this game when we come back in just a minute. You're listening to Middletown Football on Wall Radio, brought to you by the Orange County Stop DWI and Traffic Safety Program.
Okay, men, this is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're going to go out there and be an all-star caregiver. It's up to you. So what are you going to do? You're going to go grocery shopping, cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You gotta dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Don't you forget about the pharmacy. I know you won't. Because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. This is your time to show the world, your family, and yourself that you're tougher than tough. Now go out there and be the best caregiver this world has ever seen. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Time to get back to the action. It's Middies football on Wall Radio.
Back to the finale of Middletown football here at Fowler Field with a final score of 44-20. The Middies take a 24-point victory over the Pine Bush Bushmen here at home for the first home playoff game ever. And since 1994, in the fall season, we are going to play for the Section 9 championship. It's going to be here at home next week. DJ McPherson, Norris Gibson, Norris. Let's start out from the top. Everything that went right for the Midi Bears. Let's start off what we saw first and where it just kept on going for them.
You know, it first started off with that interception right off big time in the game. You know, the defense was out there for a pretty long while. Coming back out there, they were, again, just trucking along, getting the necessary stops that, you know, kind of kept Pine Bush at bay. Then the offense came right out there. Giuliani Graham, again, just took over for the rest of the game. You know, just touchdown after touchdown, on the ground, nothing by the air, too much from the Middies tonight. But, again, they just imposed their will the entire night on the Pine Bush defense, and they just did whatever they wanted to do tonight.
It all started with the Michael Culver interception, 55-plus yards there unofficially on that one. And you know what? You're absolutely right. It just didn't stop. Middletown made a couple of mistakes. They only had a couple of penalties in this game. I believe 3 penalties unofficially there. They had a couple of fumbles. They lost those fumbles, but they just kept on turning. Guys just kept on coming back. We'll talk about those fumbles. Elijah Georges, Joe Mann, they fumbled the ball, but they just came back. Defense got to stop. They came back and scored on each one of those turnaround possessions. And speaking of scoring, I think it's just a no-brainer. Tonight's player of the game, our guy Jelani Graham. Jelani putting up 5 touchdowns, over 120 yards unofficially rushing on the day. Just Jelani Graham, that's all you had to say. Give it to number 15. He took it from there each and every time he touched the ball.
Yeah, I mean, he was just playing lights out tonight. I'm super proud of this offense. I'm super proud of the offensive line. Actually, offense and defensive line, they played lights out with, spearheads like Stephen Monterey, Ramir Bradley. These guys are that, senior part of that senior core that can allow the team to just flourish and go into next week very confidently that they have the guys up front that can help, protect and help them win the game.
Helping them win the game on all sides of the ball. It was the protection. It was the playmakers, skill position players. Everybody chipped in. We saw it all. I'm just happy that I spoke to you about Elijah Georges before the game, and then we saw him put on a heck of a performance today. So I felt very validated and say, yeah, I'd watch out for number 17. He makes some plays. And the kid was out there balling today. Shout out to you, Elijah Georges. Shout out to Steve Georges, as a great guy in this community. That's Elijah's father. I went to high school with that guy, another great man from Middletown. Shout out to all the Georges family and all the families of these young men. Shout out to the entire Middletown Middies football team. You won yourselves a playoff game, and you have the opportunity next week here at home. We're going to play for the Section 9 title. Will it be Monroe Woodbury, and will it be Newburgh? That is the question, and it's going to be great. Before we get out of here, let me just do a little housekeeping. Some out-of-town scoreboard. Out-of-town scoreboard. Class A semifinal. Cornwall is still up over Warwick 46-6. The Class A semifinal on the other side. Lours leads Neversink 6-0 after 1. Cornwall defeats Warwick 46-6 to advance to the Class A title game. And with 5 minutes left in the third quarter, Port Jervis is up 59-3 currently over Highland. So a lot of that's going on. Delaware Valley still with a 21-point lead. That's Jake Graziano on that call. We have Kevin Halpenny and Tom Fagione and Ethan McElroy on, the WDLC call for Port Jervis football. And for us, DJ McPherson, Norris Gibson back with us again. Great to do the game with you, Norris. And thank you, Jeff Anderson, joining us in our Wall Radio studio. 44-20, Middletown dominates and takes a playoff game here. On to next week. We'll be here at Fowler Field. We will see you then. Don't forget, you guys can tune in to us all week. It's Kate Brennan in the morning. We are the greatest hits for Orange County and the Hudson Valley. Listen to us, 94.1, 105.7, 106.3, and on the Wall Radio app or wallradio.com. We'll see you next week. Middletown's going to be playing for the Section 9 championship here at Fowler Field. Thank you. Have a great night, Hudson Valley.